Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Sam Redgate-Large channel. Welcome back. Today we've got Leeds United versus AFC Bournemouth. It's the 3 o'clock kickoffs. It's a pretty dead 3 o'clock set of kickoffs, I must say. Very quiet is probably the fairest way to say it. But what we're going to do is today we're going to sit back, we're going to watch the scores as they come in. I'm going to sit and watch Leeds versus AFC Bournemouth. If that's something you fancy, then do be sure to smash that like button and do hit subscribe as well. It should be a fantastic game. As always, when we watch Leeds United, it should be entertaining. That's what we're hoping for. We're hoping for some entertaining football as of today. We're about 30 minutes or so away from kickoff this afternoon, which means there is plenty of time for you guys to get your score predictions in and let us know what your thoughts and feelings are around this game. As you can see, we've got this new setup that I'm going with, so let us know what you think with it as well. We've got a few people who are filtering in. We've had Farhan in earlier. There we go. If I can get his name out. And great to see him in. And hopefully, Farhan, if you are watching this on repeat or if you're with us now, I hope you are okay, my friend. Evening to Real Tom, or Royal Tom, should I say. That's his Spanish counterpart. And then we've got Mish coming in as well. The Alba Derby tomorrow. Most certainly is. I'm looking forward to that one. And then Fraser as well, who has just uploaded Wickham halfway line goal. I was at the game. I was at the South Shields game as well. Wow, Fraser's had a busy weekend by the sounds of things, and you'll have to send us a link to that goal so I can have a look myself, Fraser. But good afternoon to everyone who is joining us, and hopefully this will be a good game. That's what I'm hoping for, a good game of football today. And Leeds, they always like to put on a show. The last few times the last few times that we've seen Leeds United, they've definitely put on a show, one of which being that unfortunate loss for Chelsea against Leeds United, but also the game against Manchester United at the back end of last season as well. So I'm hoping that level of enthusiasm and, just make it a good game. That's all I'm hoping for. That's why I've gone for today's game. Bournemouth versus Leeds United. Two sides who I'm sure know each other pretty well over the last few seasons. And maybe actually, if I'm thinking about it, is this the first time? I've said that, but I think this will be one of the first times they've played each other for a long, long while, because Bournemouth were in the Premier League when Leeds weren't, and as they dropped out, they swapped around. So these two teams, now that I've said that, I just said it on a whim, but I don't think they do. Always good to retract, isn't it? And, go back on yourself instantly. But there we are. Two sides accustomed with the Championship, but surprisingly not accustomed to each other. And that is the weird one. That most certainly is the weird one. It'd be like Norwich and Fulham coming up against each other. Bournemouth want to stay in the league, and Leeds trying to stay up. Yeah, exactly. It could be a vital game when it comes to the end of this Premier League season. It really could be. Leeds have had a decent start this season. Not too bad, obviously, picking up big points against the likes of Chelsea and Liverpool, and I'm sure they will help them further down the line, whereas Bournemouth did get battered 9-0, but they are I believe they are now the only side. I don't know what their scoreline was last weekend, but as of last weekend, they were the only side not to have been beaten since that 9-0 loss, which is pretty emphatic, the way that they've turned this one around, Bournemouth, and under different management now as well, it could be that actually that was a good omen for them to be battered 9-0. Maybe that's just what they needed. The decision needed to be made. We aren't playing Chelsea tomorrow. We're playing Aubameyang. That seems to be the case. I think that's what most Arsenal fans are going out for this weekend. But let's talk Leeds United, and let's get into the starting 11s. I nearly clicked the starting screen there. I don't want that one. There we are. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. I'll just wait for my phone to update, so then see if you guys can see it as well. Yeah, that should be okay for you. Right. Let's have a little look. Tom's coming in with his score prediction for tomorrow for Chelsea versus Arsenal. Wrong game, Tom. Let us know your score prediction for Leeds versus Bournemouth. Right, here we go. Before we do go through these two teams, let's have a look at the Premier League table and refresh ourselves, and let's have a refresher of what's been going on in the Premier League and where everyone sits, because it's been a little while. It has been a little while, particularly for myself, since I've sat down and watched some football on a Saturday afternoon. Let's have a look then. Let's have a look. So this is how the table is looking at the moment. Arsenal, the initial leaders, with a game in hand, of course, on Tottenham and Newcastle below them, but leading the way to Manchester City on 29 points, 2 points clear at the top of the division. And then you have Tottenham in third. Newcastle United starting really, really well as well this season under Eddie Howe. How long can they keep it up? Potentially a long, long time, particularly if injuries continue to strike the likes of Chelsea. I'm thinking Chelsea in particular. Both of their fullbacks now again out injured, both of their starting fullbacks in Reece James and Ben Chilwell. Manchester United in 5th, Chelsea in 6th. Fulham, who play Manchester City today, so you would imagine it's going to be a hard game for them, but up in 7th, and that is, look, 13 games in, they're already nearly at that 20-point mark, which is halfway between that all-important 40-point mark that they will need to try and stay up this season. Don't get me wrong, don't think it's relegation off the cards, but that start will make them full of confidence, won't it? 19 points out of the first, 13 times 3, is that 39? I believe it is. 39 points. So, half the points they've taken so far. They'll be wanting to continue this great form. And, if they carry on like this, they should be absolutely home and hosed. And for once, not be getting relegated. Brighton and then Liverpool. Of course, Liverpool, they've hit the headlines multiple times. Sat in 8th and 9th with Brighton and Liverpool. Brighton, of course, getting that big emphatic win against their former manager and, of course, their former player in Cucurella last Saturday as well. Was it last Saturday? It was last Saturday. Brentford and then Everton. Everton again, who have been, in terms of clean sheets, have been able to keep a lot of clean sheets. And then we have the second worst defence in the league, behind West Ham. I say behind West Ham, I mean as in lower than West Ham, in Bournemouth. And that's who we're going to be seeing today, which does bring us on to the other team that we are seeing today, which is Leeds United. A couple of big names sort of sat around the bottom of the table there. As you can see, Aston Villa, Southampton, Leicester, Wolves, established Premier League sides all at the bottom. But Leeds United are one of the teams that at the moment, maybe, you look at their 12 points, they picked up 3 points against Liverpool and against Chelsea. Those points could be vital come the end of the season, but they need to start picking up points against teams around them. Today is a prime example of that for them. They do have a game in hand against their opposition for today, but sitting down in 15th with an opportunity to, before the rest of the games are kicked off, chuck themselves up to 12th place would definitely be something that they would want to do. But that is how the table is looking, and as I mentioned, there has been a lot of injuries that have been coming through, and hopefully we don't get any more for the World Cup's sake. I mean, whether we should be going to a World Cup in Qatar is a different question, but for the World Cup's sake, and whether we think it should be going there or not, players need to stay fit, because teams are looking a little bit thin. Teams are looking a little bit thin at the moment. Real Tom has said Leeds 2, Bournemouth 0. That's his score prediction. Mish is going for all out here with a 3-2 to Bournemouth. I would love to see that. That would be full of the drama and the desire that I definitely would want to see. Fraser says, I've seen Stephen Walnut, former Liverpool player. I did not see that, but there we are. Villa will get relegated, says Real Tom. I'm sure he's just trying to wind up any Villa supporters that we do have in our chat, says Josh. Absolutely would not be wanting to hear Tom saying that. But that being said, we are going to take a look through this Leeds United team. I do apologise, my back has just tightened up just a little bit. Let's start ourselves off in goal then, and we'll start off with Illan Meslier, a decent goalkeeper. Again, with some of these teams, I've not really been able to see much of them so far this season. And, 3 o'clock kickoffs do become a bit of a pain because you can't watch them on TV unless you've got different access rights or whatever it may be, which is frustrating for many people. It's the first thing I say when I wake up. Fair enough. fair enough. But Meslier is going to start in goal with Christiansen, Koch and Cooper and Strauch, whose name never gets any easier today. Even if I did live at times last year, I did live moments away from Elland Road. Still can't pronounce half of these Leeds United player names. And a solid 4 at the back. Liam Cooper, the captain, coming back in, which I'm sure will be a great bonus to them. They did look a bit light in terms of defenders at the when they played against Chelsea a few weeks ago. God, what's happening to my head? A few weeks ago, which is good to see that they're now being able to field a bit more of a team. But like I mentioned, these injuries are coming thick and fast for every single team. Tyler Adams and Mark Roca are the two defensive midfielders. Of course, Tyler Adams did come for that big money move over the summer, and is starting to weave his way into this team and looks like a decent acquisition for Leeds United. Jack Harrison, we know the talents of Jack Harrison. We've seen it over the last couple of seasons. He's got goals, he's got assists, and he's definitely got running in behind as well. Plenty of room to manoeuvre with him, and he just makes the room himself. Brendan Aronson, who is a player who I did not want to see this quickly after the Chelsea game against us. I didn't want to see him for another few months, I must say. Should have thought about this one, but he was the man who opened the scoring against Chelsea a couple of months ago. Excuse me. And he looks like a good signing. He looks technically a very good player, and he looks like he definitely got what's the best way to say it? Definitely got a bit of a wow factor about him. I was a little bit unsure, as I'm sure a lot of people are when they buy from America or American players, particularly with the lack of success that someone like a Christian Pulisic, who is very much their star man, but Aronson has started well. Wouldn't say he's lit the world on fire by any stretch of the imagination, but definitely looks like a decent player for them. Somerville is on that left-hand side then, whose first name I don't even want to try and pronounce, considering I've not actually heard it pronounced for a little while. I'm not even going to try that one. And then Rodrigo is up front as well. Of course, Rodrigo got that goal against Liverpool, the first goal that did open the scoring against Liverpool last weekend, which was an absolute calamity. And for a striker like Rodrigo, he's easily gonna want that, isn't he? He's gonna try and waltz his way through and make, it just made his life very, very easy. But this will be the first time I have watched AFC Bournemouth this season, and I must say, I'm looking forward to it. It looks like, according to SofaScores, is going with a 3-5-1-1. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to compare that to a few of the formations that they've played recently, because it seems like a daft sort of formation for SofaScores to have suggested. So let's see what they've been playing more recently. So last week they played against Tottenham. Of course, Tottenham came with that fantastic comeback, that late comeback, which saw Rodrigo Bentancur get the late winner after Kiefer Moore did score two early on in the first half and early into the second half as well. And in that game, they played with Dominic Solanke again, kind of behind Kiefer Moore, as you can see on your screen, with Philip Billing in there as well, sort of like as a left attacking midfielder. So we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to definitely wait and see how these two line up, whether Dominic Solanke will go up front with him, or if he's going to drop him behind a little bit more, maybe be a bit more creative. Of course, Dominic Solanke now 25. He scored 2 goals this season in the Premier League. Scored 29 goals in the Championship last season after struggling, I think is the best way to say it, struggling for goals and fitness and lots of different other bits and bobs. And considering, he had such a high ceiling when he was at youth level, it is a little bit disappointing to see Dominic Solanke at that level. But it does look like he will sort of play in behind the striker. So it does look like it could be a very feasible way of playing. So the defence then, we'll kick ourselves off with Mark Travers in goal. Of course, the the number one goalkeeper for them. Only one clean sheet this season, which is a bit of a shame. But of course, Bournemouth haven't really been known for keeping clean sheets themselves this season, which I guess you take it with a pinch of salt, don't you? Maybe that's less on the keeper. The wing backs then, we'll start off at right wing back, is the former West Ham United player in Ryan Fredericks, who, you know, he seems like he could be a decent signing for a side such as AFC Bournemouth, doesn't he? Ryan Fredericks, he looks like he could be a half-decent signing. And the left-hand side, Marcus Tavernier. I'm sure any Rangers fans will tell you that's a familiar name. Any Middlesbrough fans as well will tell you that is a very, very familiar name, which is their summer signing of Marcus Tavernier. Intrigued to see how he plays today, having watched him a little bit down in the Championship whilst following Huddersfield Town last season. It will be interesting to see how that sets up. Then the three across the back there is Marcus Senese, Chris Mepham and Adam Smith, who is the captain. The three across midfield, speaking of Huddersfield Town, is Philip Billing, who previously did, if you don't know, played for Huddersfield Town. Jeffrey Lerma and Lewis Cook are the two in midfield. Dominic Solanke and Kiefer Moore. So for anyone who hasn't watched Bournemouth, there are still quite a big core in terms of, if you look through that middle five who are on your screen right now, in terms of centre-back, three central midfielders and striker. They were all there when they last got relegated from the Premier League. So there is very much still a core there, a core that they've been trying to work around and trying to get this team back up to the Premier League and really sort of gain a bit of momentum. And I think that's always important when you come up from the Championship, is to have a strong core that you can rely on. Chris Mepham, he has been decent. He's been decent throughout his career, and of course, was at Brentford before he played for AFC Bournemouth, but a very consistent player, 33 caps for Wales as well. So it's really important to have these players that you can rely upon, you know, throughout the season, definitely throughout the season, and really, you know, sort of push on. Just having a look through the bench, I'm just doing that on my phone at the moment because the amount of time it took us to scroll down the bottom of that. But just looking at the bench as well, there's no one else I really sort of recognise off the bench of this Bournemouth side. I'm sure I will do. Jack Stevens, of course, is on that bench as well. He's on loan from Southampton at the moment. You've got Junior Stanislas. He's still playing football. My God. He seems to have been around the block for a long, long while, Junior Stanislas. A really long, long while, I must say. But he's with Bournemouth and he's on the bench for tonight. Gelhardt is on the bench as well. Matthias Klick, you've got Sam Greenwood, Diego Llorente, Junior Firpo and Luke Ayling. So actually, I'd be inclined to say that Leeds have a very strong bench for today. Obviously, nowhere near the levels of the top six of the big teams who seem to be able to double up on every position. But Leeds do look like they've got a very, very good backup and bench. But we are about, how long away are we? We're about 13 minutes away from the beginning of this game. And I do want to know your score predictions. So please do let us know in the chat. Get in the chat and let us know your score predictions from this game. I'm at a slight angle here with this camera. I think I may well be. Is that better? I can't really tell, I must say. It does kind of look like we are. But there we are. We're just waiting, actually, for the football to come on, and then we might have something to talk about. But we're about 12 minutes away, as always, from the start of the game. What was Real Tom chatting about? So Real Tom saying that Villa will be relegated, and he's called it since day one. And he's also going with Chelsea versus Newcastle for next weekend. And I kind of forgot we had fixtures for next weekend. It's quite an interesting one, actually, because we're coming up to the World Cup now, and it's what do people do? Are people, you know, particularly players who are looking to get themselves to the World Cup, are they slacking off? Are they slowing down? We've obviously got Carabao Cup in midweek this week, where Bournemouth have got another game on Tuesday, so that's a very quick turnaround. They've got a game on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday, it's Chelsea versus Manchester City in the Carabao Cup, and that is a huge game to have less than, I guess it's less than a week, isn't it? It's just slightly over a week before the World Cup does start. And I am intrigued to see whether there'll be some changes, whether players are going to be cautious. Is the intensity going to drop? I don't know. The intensity may well drop in the Premier League over the next few weeks because a lot of players won't want to be getting themselves injured. Like Ben Chilwell just sustained I'm going to say just this morning. Obviously, it was in midweek when he last played. But that's a huge injury, particularly for England, who have been looking like they've been sort of steering towards playing Luke Shaw. And I do wonder if the intensity is going to drop out. I really do wonder if it's going to drop out over the next few games. Of course, the EFL Cup games, I imagine we're going to see, whilst it's Manchester City versus Chelsea, I imagine we see the backup brigades. I imagine we see maybe some of the players who don't get regular first-team football, who maybe aren't going to World Cups or whatever it may be. I imagine we see them play. Unfortunately for Chelsea, that means Haaland would probably play because, of course, Norway, there was no way that they were going to the World Cup this time around, despite the talents of the likes of Martin Ødegaard and others. And it's going to be a really difficult time for managers, and we're going into this period now. There's going to be lots of games. Probably the biggest break they will have is in between their group games, and then in between the group game and the last 16. Of course, for some players and some teams, there will almost be, it's kind of a double-ended sword, isn't it? You really hope for you want your players to come back fit and play less game time, but then you also want them to do well. And it's a really weird position that I'm sure clubs will be finding themselves in. I'm sure they will be finding themselves in. And I'm very concerned for the fitness of some of these players. I know they get paid large amounts of money, and whether they get overpaid is a question that you guys will probably have to decide yourself. But at the end of the day, these players, it isn't physically what players are supposed to be doing. You shouldn't be playing this amount of fixtures. It's not good for anyone's body, let alone some of these players who are, really, really struggling at the moment. And I think that's fair to say they are really, really struggling. Let me just angle that down just a little bit. There we are. That's better. Yeah, so there's a lot of players really, really struggling at the moment. And of course, next weekend as well, we have the added extra as well, that there'll be 2 minutes of silence before every game played. There might be one this afternoon. I'm not quite sure. It might be because it's the nearest home game Leeds United play, something like that. There is a rule around it, but they're just showing on the screen again for us. Leeds United, Bournemouth, just separated by the 1 point. Of course, Leeds having that game in charge as well. There's a snake behind you in Fabregas. Oh yeah, there is. I'm sure I'll keep that one hanging for tomorrow's stream. Absolutely, just need an Aubameyang top. Proof that London's blue, Mish. Proof that London is blue. 2 of your captains have done the same move. 2 of them have done the same move. But it looks like the Leeds United fans are in absolutely full voice at Elland Road as they are chanting towards the Bournemouth players, and other fans trying to intimidate them and let that 12th man of Elland Road really stand behind them. And I'm sure it's busy in Leeds today. It always is on match day. It's always a jam-packed crowd. These are the days that fans of Leeds United have been wanting and waiting for so long. Since they were relegated to the Championship. Obviously they're back now. They've got a couple of full seasons behind them, and of course a full season with fans behind them, and these are definitely days that people will be looking for. And I'm sure it's another sellout crowd at Elland Road, as it always seems to be at the moment. But they absolutely are in full voice. Afternoon to Farhan, who has just joined us. Afternoon, mate. Hope you are doing okay. Hope you're doing better than Leicester are in terms of the football, mate. Hope you are doing okay. And looking forward to seeing some content coming back from you in a little while. Just a reminder, guys, before we do get into this, let us know your score predictions. Do let us know your score predictions. That would be absolutely fantastic if you could let us know your score predictions. And do let us know as well. Do smash that like button if you haven't already. Do hit subscribe, all of that jazz, all of that good stuff. And hopefully, if you are in the chat, do get nice and loud, do talk to us, because that is when the chat and when the games get really good. And Farhan's nearly at 1k. Nice one, mate. Nice one. Edgy never closer. Edgy never closer. Nice one. Hopefully you do enjoy this stream if you are going to stick around, and let us know. 3-2 or 3-1 or 2-1 Bournemouth, says Mish. I actually had on Super 6, I actually made my prediction earlier on, and hopefully I've got chance to change it, because I cannot remember what my predictions were. Oh, I've gone with a 0-0 on this. Oh, God, that's stinky. That's probably before I decided to... That's definitely before I decided to stream this one. I went with a 0-0. Well, hopefully, if it is a 0-0, then my Super 6 will do okay. That is the hope. There are a wreath of poppies being carried out. The footballers do have poppies on their shirt for today. Of course, like I mentioned, Leeds United's nearest home game to Remembrance Sunday, which does fall next Sunday, and Remembrance Day is next Friday as well. So that is the nearest one. So we will be having, whether it's a minute of silence or a 2-minute of silence, I'm not too sure. But there will be some form of remembrance act going on today. And of course, remembering all of those who have lost their lives fighting for the greater good in terms of wars over the entirety of the last 100 or so years. So let's see if there's any difference between the Leeds United setups that we saw from SofaScores earlier on. If you haven't seen that, do be sure to go back and have a look at the Leeds United lineup. It does look very similar though, a 4-2-3-1, which has been a common factor and a common feature for Leeds United so far, with Aronson just playing in behind Rodrigo. Of course, Patrick Bamford still plagued with injury at the moment. He will have been wanting to have got himself back into some form of fitness, but he just seems to be not able to do that at the moment. And it does look like, let's have a look. It looks like a 4 at the back, of course. I think we knew that one, whether Ryan Fredericks will play as that 4 at the back. But this has also gone with a 4-2-3-1. That's very interesting. Marcus Tavernier then moving alongside, and Dominic Solanke playing right wing with Philip Billing in behind Kiefer Moore. Again, keep your eyes out for that. We'll keep you up to date to see how the players do play in midfield, whether they will set up as it showed earlier with a bit of a 5 at the back, or I'll just go through the Bournemouth team really quickly. The way that they've set it up is a 4-2-3-1 with Travers Smith as that left back. Then you've got Senese, Mepham and Ryan Fredericks, with 2 defensive midfielders of Lewis Cook and Jefferson. Is it Jefferson Lerma? That sounds right. And then Marcus Tavernier playing on the left-hand side with Solanke on the right, attacking midfield, Philip Billing, and Kiefer Moore up front. That is what they are going with. That's what the initial lineups look like. That may well change in attack or in defence, the way that this team sets up. I will be intrigued to know. But we are going to have a couple of moments of silence as well. So whilst we do that, I will just pop to the toilet, and then we will all be ready for this game. So the minute silence is going to start very, very shortly. Or is it a minute of applause? That is the question. I think they're going with a minute of applause, which seems a little bit odd, but I don't know if this is for something else. I'm trying to listen to the person. Right, here we go. I'll be right back. Right, there we are. That is the end of the last post, and of course, everyone paying their tributes to, like I mentioned earlier, all of those who have given their lives in wars, and unfortunately, the wars are still going on in the world, and hopefully we can have peace at some point. Mish says Aubameyang still beat you in the FA Cup final. He did, but oh well, we've got him now, and I can't wait until he scores 2 against you tomorrow, Mish. I can't wait. Oh no, I meant you, nearly at 1k. Yeah, we're getting there. We are getting there. We just got to 10k on TikTok as well, which is amazing. Earned 8p so far, so you know, look after the pennies, the pounds look after themselves, is the saying. I nearly said phrase and saying there. If you haven't already, guys, do be sure to smash that like button for us. Do hit subscribe. We are a couple of moments away from kickoff between Leeds United and AFC Bournemouth. Should be a really interesting game. Hoping for lots of goals, despite my prediction being a 0-0. I would be happy if that one is wrong. And Dominic Solanke gets us underway in this game, and there was a roar of noise there from the Leeds United faithful, an absolute roar of noise. And let's see who starts the quickest and can get the ball down, get their game plan and their strategy going as soon as possible, because that's the really important thing for both of these sides today, is get themselves, and I mean get themselves, into this game nice and early. They won't want to concede, neither side will want to concede in the opening 5 minutes, because that's just going to make their day a lot longer, particularly Bournemouth, who of course are away from home in this game taking place at Elland Road. Let's see what Leeds can do here. Good ball over the top by Aronson. It might fall to Somerville. This might be an opportunity. Is that a penalty, referee? It is! Inside a minute, Somerville gets himself a penalty. Already! I said they didn't want mistakes, Bournemouth. And there we are. Somerville causing problems. Aronson does brilliantly. Clips the ball over the top to Somerville. And his pace is just too much. And the Bournemouth defender takes him down instantly. Wow. Let's have another watch of this. It's a great ball from Aronson. Fredericks trips him a little bit. Oh, it's a definite penalty. It's a stone wall penalty kick from Senese. It's a stone wall penalty kick. And Rodrigo already has an opportunity to put Leeds United ahead. I said they wouldn't want to concede. And this is exactly what I meant. It's a penalty, and it's a huge opportunity for Leeds United. And I tell you what, it might be my Super 6 prediction out of the way straight away. But more important matters for Rodrigo here in their fight to stay up and avoid relegation to the Championship. Rodrigo, a close family friend of Thiago and Rafinha Alcantara. Needs to channel a bit of that inner Thiago in him against Mark Travers, the 23-year-old. He wouldn't have wanted this at the moment. It is Rodrigo against Travers. Rodrigo down the middle, nice and easily. And Rodrigo storms his way over towards those Leeds United fans. And it's absolute ecstasy and chaos. Those Leeds fans are loving it. Of course they are. They're absolutely loving it. And inside 2 minutes, Leeds United have not only scored, they've won themselves a penalty. And they are in front, and that'll be the dream start. That was the dream start for Leeds United. I am sure that Bournemouth's game plan has just gone straight out of the window. Whatever it was, their game plan, whatever it was, and I'm not sure what it was looking at that poor tackle, whatever it was has gone straight out the window, and it's a calm penalty from Rodrigo. A lot of pressure piled on that penalty, I must say. A lot of weight, a lot of expectation on Rodrigo there to deliver. And Leeds are just going straight back at it again with Aronson. Bournemouth need to settle down. They most certainly do. Here is Jack Harrison. There we are. I've got Aronson's name in me, stuck at my head now. They just need to calm it down a little bit, Bournemouth, if they can, because otherwise Leeds will take advantage of this really early on. Really early on. Strauk into Somerville. Oh my God, I cannot believe that mistake came so quickly. I cannot believe it. That is definitely going to be more difficult for them today then. Definitely. I said it literally straight away. I went, neither side is going to want to, you know, give away a foul and change their game plans early on. And, you know, they have. They have. Now they've got to change their game plan. Leeds United. Leeds, no, Bournemouth. Leeds don't. Leeds are flying. Leeds are flying. Christiansen just going up that right-hand side there as well for Leeds, and he's managed to win himself a corner. Jack Harrison and Brendan Aronson are going to go over to take this. I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. Inside a minute, that penalty's been given away. It is Harrison who's going to whip this one in. It's headed clear, though, as far as Tyler Adams. It's going to come back in. Headed clear once again, this time by Dominic Solanke. And there we are. That might be the respite that they needed there as Jefferson Lerma is fouled. That might be the respite the Bournemouth need. But crikey, Leeds United have started well, and Bournemouth just need to settle things down. Just calm down a little bit, lads. Calm down a little bit. Just need to calm themselves down. It's all, you know, it's everything. Go, 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 go. Just chill out. Just chill out. Leeds are known for their pressing. Just see if you can beat the press just a little bit as they look long there for Kiefer Moore. And they've given the ball straight back here to Leeds United. Here's Rodrigo into Harrison. That's a great ball over the top to Aronson. Good touch as well from the American, and it's just got away from him there. Chris Mepham came over, swept up, and put in a really good shift. A really, really good shift there, Chris Mepham, just to get across and just to hopefully try and calm these Bournemouth players down, because as much as I want to see goals, I want to see a good competitive game between the two of them. And in this opening 5 minutes, it's been a landslide towards Leeds United at the moment. I've not even been able to see how Bournemouth has set up. That was my biggest question mark before kickoff was how are Bournemouth going to set up? That was the biggest question mark, wasn't it? That was what I kept referring to, and all of a sudden, it doesn't matter how they're set up because they're a goal down. Mepham, that's a better ball. Into the right-hand side channel, finds Fredericks. Good feet there from Philip Billing, formerly of Huddersfield Town. Cups it in off that left foot. That might fall to Kiefer Moore. That might fall, and it's in! It's in! Marcus Tavernier scored, and it's 1-1 in 5 minutes! Oh my gosh, what a start to this game! Marcus Tavernier, it just drops to him at the edge of the box. There's a lot of hand gestures there for the Bournemouth fans. The whole of Ellen Road falls deathly silent, apart from the Bournemouth fans. Marcus Tavernier has found the back of the net. What a lovely finish. And it was good play up that right-hand side by Philip Billing, who cut back onto his left foot, whipped it in. It was defended in front of Kiefer Moore, but everyone was stood on Moore and Dominic Solanke and anyone else running into the box. They all left Marcus Tavernier. Tavernier unmarked to that back post. Christiansen gets sucked in. He hits it on his right foot and he volleys it into the bottom corner. Ilan Meslier should do better, but Bournemouth won't care. That'll settle the nerves. And it's Bournemouth 1, Leeds United 1. Marcus Tavernier, inside 7 minutes, gets an equaliser. Wow, just wow. What a start to this game. What a start. Oh, take a breath. Jeez. Oh, God. I don't want the game to stop playing like this. That's another great ball down the line as well towards Christiansen. Oh, my gosh. What is going on, man? What is going on? Tyler Adams there just fouls the Bournemouth players. Oh, God. I'm not even going to be able to keep up, am I? I'm not even going to be able to keep up. I'm very surprised. That's the first opportunity. Don't get me wrong. First opportunity for Leeds. First opportunity for Bournemouth. And they've both found the back of the net. If it carries on like this, I tell you what, we are in for a treat. An absolute treat of a game. An absolute treat of a game if it carries on like this. Kiefer Moore gets the ball down. Lovely flick there down the line. Looking for Dom Solanke. Leeds win it back though. And it's a bit of pinball in the middle as Lewis Cook tries to get it down. Somerville does get it down that time for Leeds. And Philip Billing able to step in there. What a good start this is to this game. What a start. Brighton have scored as well against Wolverhampton Wanderers. So Brighton continuing their push to try get themselves maybe a Europa Conference League position, maybe make the most of Liverpool and Chelsea's poor form at the moment and try get themselves into some European football spots. But Bournemouth just look like they're the ones looking to control the play now. The goal coming from Adam Lallana at Brighton. Lewis Cook looks down the line there for Ryan Fredericks, who's just intercepted there by Pascal Strauch. Goal, Brighton 1, says Fraser. I tell you what, Mish, if you're still here, your score prediction looks bob on at the moment with a 3-2 to Bournemouth. It looks absolutely bob on. What a feisty opening 10 minutes we've had just as the timer ticks over here at Elland Road. What a feisty few moments we've had. Unbelievable few moments there. I can't get my head around it, man. I cannot get my head around it. Oh, get in. And Grimsby Town have just scored as well. Grimsby Town. I don't know why, but the comments are coming up on the screen really, really slowly at the moment. Really slowly. Just a foul in the back there from Koch on Kiefer Moore. Just using his body. It's the mere presence of Kiefer Moore. If you watched the Spurs game last weekend, that is what Spurs were struggling with. And it looks like Leeds are struggling with it at the moment as well. You saw on that goal, Christiansen, the right back, gets sucked in. Don't get me wrong, there was an overload at that far post. Christiansen needed a hand. But Kiefer Moore's mere presence of being there made him panic. He panicked. Marcus Tavernier was like, hang on, I'm going to hang back here. I'm going to hang back. That's a really clever free kick as well. And that might fall to Dominic Solanke, who tries a little cheeky chip. And it's going out for a Bournemouth corner. Very inventive, though, from Bournemouth as they look to try and work something from the training ground. It was a really clever one there from Marcus Tavernier, who just rolled it in behind the Leeds defenders. No one had picked up on Dominic Solanke there, and apparently it is 1-1 according to our Fraser is what I was going to say there. Oh my gosh, again that was nearly saved. Our goal assistant in Fraser. Let's go down to Fraser. Cheers, Fraser. Oh, it was another flick on there at the front post, and I'm not sure who that was, coming in. I think it was Jefferson Lerma. You're watching it via Jeff Stelling. Still no goals. What, in this game? Oh, I've not updated the thing ever. Lol. I've not updated the thing ever. Nice. Nice. I ticked the thing at the bottom. It's just too much exciting. It's too much excitement for me, Mish. I can't keep up with it. That's the problem. I cannot keep up with it. There's too much excitement. There is absolutely too much excitement. What an unbelievable feisty start this has been to the game there as Somerville looked to break. I believe he's just been pulled back for offside there, has he? I think so. Not sure what the lino's seen there as he looked to burst forward. It could have been a good opportunity for Somerville to open up those legs and really show what he can do on the ball. God, this is end-to-end, isn't it? It looks like, this almost looks like it could be a cup game. It looks like an FA Cup bonanza is probably the best way to say it. It looks really feisty so far already. Good play again there by Bournemouth, but Dominic Solanke's touch just a little bit too hard as he looked for Marcus Tavernier. Tavernier, of course, had that great season last season on loan at Middlesbrough and was part of the reason that they had a good cup run last season. Of course, got his reward in a move to Bournemouth and now featuring in the Premier League. Lewis Cook manages to clip that one back to Chris Mepham, who's going to launch one down the line. It's headed clear though by Christiansen, flicked on that time by Rodrigo, finds Aronson. Here is Aronson on this right hand channel, trying to wriggle a bit of room there for him, and that was a little bit clumsy there from Aronson, and the Bournemouth players really aren't pleased with that tackle from Aronson there on I think that was Senese, the person who gave away the penalty. I'm not sure there's much of a foul there from Brendan Aronson. I must say, to give the USA international some credit, I must say I don't think there was too much in that one. I think he's a little bit unlucky there to have given away a foul, but the win probability just shifted. As soon as Leeds scored, it was up at 71%. It's up at 71%, and now it's gone down to 49%. Really shows you how football is not a game about statistics. Anything can happen. Of course, there are trends. Things will feature more regularly than others. But realistically, fundamentally, when it comes down to it, football is incredibly difficult to predict. As Kiefer Moore looks to break down that right-hand side, and it's good defence there by Liam Cooper, the captain of Leeds United, who swept over and put that one out of play for a throw-in. Just trying to keep myself up to date with all the scores as they come in across the Premier League. I do believe Fraser said that it was 1-1. I think it's just 1-0 at the moment. I've not seen the 1-1 confirmation in that one. Oh, it is Gonzalo Guedes who's got the second one, so I do apologise calling Fraser out. Mish says Pierre Gasly. Absolutely. Marcus Tavernier trying to get his feet rocking and rolling. The goal scorer for Bournemouth already looks like he's excited and sharp for this game. 15 minutes on the clock. Leeds United 1, Bournemouth 1. Lerma tries to burst into a little bit of space there, and it's just caught by Brendan Aronson as he looks to move forward. Jefferson Lerma, the Colombian international, of course. He will be unfortunate and a little bit annoyed that his nation aren't going to the World Cup. Colombia, who missed out, got to the last 16 last time round. Of course, we had that feisty penalty shootout. The English did against Colombia, but he's won his team a free kick here in a really advanced position. A really advanced position. And Marcus Tavernier, maybe are we looking at something from the training ground again? It is Marcus Tavernier. He tried to catch Ilan Meslier off guard there. Just tried to keep Meslier off guard, and the delivery should have been a little bit better. I think he got caught in two minds a little bit. He saw Meslier, but then thought, oh no, people might have a problem if I don't do it that way, and it just ends up going straight into the hands of Meslier. Christiansen down the line into the feet of Jack Harrison, back into Christiansen. Good play here from Leeds. If Tyler Adams can see Jack Harrison, he's got a bit of space to move into, but Chris Mepham comes across and stops that. Fraser says that Manchester City have scored as well. I'm trying to see if I can see who scored. It's Julian Alvarez. Does that mean that Erling Haaland isn't featuring in this game? If Alvarez is starting up front, that is absolutely correct. He's going to be rested. Quite surprised, but also considering the climate which we are currently living in terms of players getting injured, I'm also not surprised at all that Manchester City aren't playing Erling Haaland. That being said, he does have the whole World Cup where he can just chill out and keep himself match fit, maybe not wanting to rush him back, maybe eyeing up that game against Chelsea. Maybe they see the EFL as a little bit more of a priority at the moment than a game against Fulham. That being said, Fulham are definitely a side to be reckoned with at the moment. Definitely a side to be reckoned with. Oh, glad that tempo's just calmed down just a little bit. It was hard to keep up with, wasn't it? Hard to keep up with. Kiefer Moore comes in there. Again, just holding the ball up brilliantly, effortlessly, Kiefer Moore. And I know Marcus Tavernier scored the goal, but the movement from Kiefer Moore was what really opened up the play for Bournemouth. And it it ended up meaning that Marcus Tavernier had an acre of space. Christiansen had to decide, do I go for the main striker, the main man? Do I go for him, or do I go for the wing back? And of course your decision there is go for him. But oh, that's a great ball over the top of Marcus Tavernier. Might be in again. It's a decent effort. Good save from Elan Meslier. It's in again! It's in again! Bournemouth have scored again! It was pulled back! And Billing has rattled it in that top corner. That will be silence around Elland Road from the Leeds United fans. The game turned on its head inside 20 minutes. This game has been turned around. It was a lofted ball over the top towards Marcus Tavernier, whose first initial shot saved by Elan Meslier, who then he turns round, looks up, rolls it into the feet of Philip Billing. Can't give a man of Philip Billing's quality that much space in front of goal and that much time, and he buried it into the top corner. What a finish that is from Philip Billing off his left foot, Yaya Toure-esque. The only time I'll ever compare Philip Billing with Yaya Toure. It's gone straight into that top corner, and it's a delicious finish, and just what Bournemouth needed. Just what Bournemouth needed. What a finish. What a goal. It was so easy. So easy though for Leeds United to be pulled apart there, and maybe we are starting to see the reasons that Leeds are at the bottom end, should I say, of the table, because it was so easy to pull apart this Leeds United side there. One ball over the top, and it was easy as you like. Whew. Lewis Cook finds Kiefer Moore. Flip round the corner there by Marcus Tavernier again. Marcus Tavernier involved in that goal so far, having a really good start to this game. Rodrigo finds a little bit of space there, but his pass, looking for Brandon Aronson, just was a little bit wayward. Philip Billing is Yaya Toure. He is. With a finish like that, I tell you what, Yaya would have been proud of that one. He loved an inside of the foot strike, didn't he, Yaya Toure? And that was a lovely finish into that top corner. It never looked in doubt, really. As soon as I saw it fall to Philip Billing there, I knew that was it in the top corner. I knew it. Billing thought he was fouled there, and Leeds United a wave play on. Here is Jack Harrison into Brendan Aronson, who might be able to find Rodrigo, the goal scorer for Leeds United. Lame appeals really for a penalty, and Jefferson Lerma able to roll it back to his keeper. Kiefer Moore, does he flatten him there? I think he does, and the referee agrees with me there, and he's flattened Philip Billing. Kiefer Moore's been flattened. Yeah, straight into the back of Liam Cooper there. Kiefer Moore needs to be a little bit more clever, a little bit cleverer than that, if he wants to, run off the back of players like that. But what a start! I tell you what a start! Oh God, 20 minutes in, and we've seen more goals than I ever anticipated being in this game. I tell you what, I did think this was going to be a slow game. Maybe, some people in the chat would be extra helpful. That'd be ace. And it's just gone off, hasn't it? It's just gone off. We're 20 minutes in, and it's absolutely flying at the moment. Absolutely flying. Cock finds Harrison, and that's just been nicked by Lerma there. Really good feet and really well played, and he's won himself a foul there. Really well played there by Jefferson Lerma. Won the ball back and then won his team a foul as well in a matter of seconds. Calm and composed on the ball. And now, ironically, in the first 5 minutes, up until that Tavernier goal, I was saying, look, it's Bournemouth who need to chill out. It's Bournemouth who need to chill out. And now, Leeds just need to relax a little bit. It's all 180 mile an hour. Bournemouth can afford to be that, but they don't want to fall into that same trick that Leeds did earlier. Kiefer Moore wins another header there for Bournemouth, who is looking a real threat. That's a good turn from Rodrigo, and he's one-on-one now if he can get his way past Chris Mepham. But Jefferson Lerma, brilliant defending from Jefferson Lerma, doubled up with his centre-half, and now there might be an opportunity to counter-attack. Is there? Ilan Meslier cuts that one out, but Jefferson Lerma, what a tackle. He's everywhere at the moment. VJ says, I like Billing. He's definitely got something about him. It's his physical presence as well, Philip Billing, that really helps him move around. But good to see you again, VJ. Hope you are doing well, my friend. Hope you are doing well. Strauch finds Somerville, who just slightly played the ball too wide there. Going to be whipped in, headed clear by Lewis Cook, and comes all the way out to Tyler Adams. Liam Cooper finds Adams once again. Into Aronson. Here we go. Leeds building here. Into Jack Harrison. Harrison out wide. Great ball. Oh, the cross there was just too early there from Pascal Strauch. And it's easily met by the Leeds United, by the Bournemouth defenders. Really easily met there. And behind for a corner. I'm sure the Leeds fans are trying to get behind their team here. They sound loud and wanting to really get their team fired up for this game now. Aronson whips it in. Is that going to fall around in the box? It might fall to Tyler Adams. It does, who rolls it out wide to Cooper, who pulls it down the line to Christiansen, who's made a darting run, and that cross is taking a deflection again off Senese, and that goes out of play for another corner for Leeds United. Is this their opportunity to build and look for a goal? Five corners already in this game. Rower trying to create a bit of room there. Marcus Rocker. And it is going to be another corner. 6th corner already in 25 minutes. If someone's got corners on this game, you might be in for some money, I tell you what. It's whipped in, this time by Jack Harrison. Headed clear by VJ's favourite, Philip Billing. And there might be a counter-attack here. Marcus Tavernier against Somerville. He's got support. Has he got support from Jefferson Lerma? He does. And out comes Meslier. It's a great piece of defending from Ilan Meslier. Somerville does enough. But Meslier does fantastically well. And Leeds might be able to go at the other end themselves with Jack Harrison. Maybe just needs to calm the play down a little bit here, Jack Harrison. Let his teammates get back in. Jefferson Lerma so close to putting Bournemouth 3-1 up. Inside 25 minutes. It's whipped in. That time that cross looking for Rodrigo and headed clear. Here is Robin Koch. Cooper finds Strauch. Somerville on that left-hand side again, whose sort of shove is the only reason, really, that Leeds aren't 3-1 down. Rocker. Strauch, who's going to try put another ball in again, but there's just not enough height in that box. There's not enough height in that box for Leeds United at the moment. Afternoon to Matty Taylor, who says, afternoon, Sir Sam of Chelsea. Fresh haircut, very Peaky Blinders. Wasn't what I was going for, but I'll take it, not bad. Hope you're doing all right, Matty. We've had a couple of banging goals in, and I'm sure as a Matty Taylor enthusiast, you can appreciate a couple of banging goals so far. But great to see you, mate. Hopefully you are well. As Robin Koch gives away a foul. That is an unfortunate name, isn't it? The more I keep saying that, that is an unfortunate name, isn't it? That's a really unfortunate name. Particularly in English. I'm sure it's fine in every other country. That's a good ball out wide to Ryan Fredericks, who's going to whip one in towards Philip Bailey. Kiefer Moore! Oh, how's he missed that? Kiefer Moore! How does he not score? It rolls into the hands of Meslier! Oh my gosh. Kiefer Moore. Leeds United let off. What a let off for Leeds United there. An absolute let off. Kiefer Moore Kiefer Moore, man. How many times do I want to say his name? That is a huge let-off. That could be a turning point. I tell you what, if Leeds go and score on this attack here as Rodrigo looks to try and bring the ball forward. It's well won back, though, by Lewis Cook, who looks really good in defensive midfield as well. It's so energetic, this game at the moment. Unbelievably energetic. What a fiery first half this has been. Unfortunately, we've got another 15 minutes of it left to play. It has been so fiery as Marcus Tavernier nearly walks himself into trouble there. He might have done, you know. Christiansen takes the throw in quickly. Drops it into Jack Harrison. Back into Christiansen. Good turn from Brendan Aronson. Here is Aronson. Good feet there from the American. And that's just well intercepted there by the Bournemouth players. I tell you what, Rodrigo needs some help up front at the moment. He really does need some help. Here is Aronson again. He's going to try and get to that byline again. Stands one up towards the back post. Somerville arriving. Oh my gosh, Ryan Fredericks. That is vital defending from Ryan Fredericks there. Absolutely vital. It's great play from Aronson. This cross is delightful. Stands it up, and Ryan Fredericks just where his goalkeeper needed him. Oh my gosh. Good thanks, pal. Painting my kitchen. Thought you could be my background noise, lol. God. Well, it's going to be a lot of background noise as this carries on, Matty, but thanks for putting us on. He's going to be whipped in this corner. Punched clear. That time by Mark Travers. Comes out as far though as Somerville, who's going to cross in the ball, looking towards Rodrigo. Headed clear by Dominic Solanke. Aronson rolls it back to the edge of the box. It's going to be whipped in again. Oh my gosh, I thought that was going to fall for a Leeds United player. It looked like it was going to fall for Liam Cooper, but it didn't quite fall for the Leeds United captain. 30 minutes on the clock, and this is a fiery one, isn't it? Leeds are falling apart again. Of course they are. The Huddersfield in me is absolutely adoring this, by the way. I would like to say that. Especially considering Leeds battered us when we played them. Absolutely battered us. Robin Koch. Sorry, his name's got me now. I've heard it, and now, oh my gosh, Kiefer Moore's won that one back. Really high up the pitch. Here's Dominic Solanke. Solanke with support from Philip Billing. Billing tries to whip that one back in again, and it'll be another corner. It's end-to-end stuff. Mistakes coming from both teams, which is making a really open and exciting game. If you are enjoying this, guys, do be sure to smash that like button for us. Do hit subscribe. More content will be coming your way over the next few weeks and days. Poor Magic Merson is loving it more than you. I'm sure he is. I'm sure he is. Oh, Tavernier taking his time to walk out to take this corner. He's getting a lot of stick from some of those Leeds fans. Kiefer Moore, I'm sure, will be the aim of this cross. Dominic Solanke in there as well. Let's see what they can do. Marcus Tavernier whips this one in. It might fall for Billing. It's headed clear. Sorry, punched clear. It was a great punch, actually. Ilan Meslier with a fantastic punch there to get his fist above Philip Billing. I tell you what, considering the height of this Bournemouth team, they're very mobile when it comes to moving up front. But I think Kiefer Moore's going to be regretting that missed opportunity. Strauch is going to roll the ball forward there, looking for Somerville, but it's great defending there from Ryan Fredericks. Matty Taylor says, banter aside, how underrated are Bournemouth and their manager? I was saying right at the beginning, actually, Matty, that basically, I think it was it as of last weekend? It was as of before last weekend, because of course they lost to Spurs. But before that, since their 9-0 loss, they hadn't lost. They were the only side in the Premier League not to have lost during that period. That is a great turnaround. Having lost 9-0 to Liverpool, put their ideas up, went on a good run, and of course, very unfortunate last week to lose to Spurs, having been 2-0 up themselves, looked like they were flying. And again today, we're seeing that confidence that they seem to have at the moment, Bournemouth, as they're looking to, counter-attack, play good counter-attacking football. We're just watching this opportunity again for Kiefer Moore, and it's a huge opportunity that's just gone wasted, unfortunately, for Bournemouth. I'm sure more will fall for them. But the rate Leeds United create opportunities, you don't want to be missing opportunities yourselves. I find it so interesting the way that they're set up as well. You look at their attackers. Marcus Tavernier dropping really far back as if it's a 5 at the back when they don't have the ball. But when they go forward, they've got Billing, Solanke, Tavernier and Kiefer Moore, and of that's again Tavernier. Off he goes down this left hand side, being closely marked by Tyler Adams though, but he's just been tripled up on there and still giving the ball to his fullback Smith. Here is Dominic Solanke. I thought it was Billing because Dominic Solanke coming over onto this left hand side. We maybe don't see that from Dominic Solanke either. I was expecting it to be Billing because of the way that Billing moves around this pitch, but for a side that is so big in terms of their attacking players, it's not good to see that Marcus Tavernier's just gone down as well, by the way. Considering the height of Solanke, of Billing, of Kiefer Moore, particularly Solanke and Billing, they look so mobile. They look really, really mobile. Really mobile, and it's causing him problems. Kiefer Moore is doing his job. He's causing a threat. He's standing there. He's taking away the attention from some of these maybe technically more gifted players, and he's just taking away the attention. The ball's whipped into the box and they're panicking and they're going towards Kiefer Moore. We are just waiting, by the way, as Marcus Tavernier looks like he's just gone down injured a little bit. I tell you what, the smile has been taken off a few of these Leeds United's fans' faces, and rightly so. They shouldn't be pleased with the way that their team has reacted to going 1-0 up. It's not been the best of reactions. No money spent, no massive support at home games. Inexperienced manager, fair play to them. Absolutely, Matty. Absolutely, mate. It's, they're putting on a show as well today. They look full of confidence. I think they're playing with a bit of a freedom that maybe you get with an inexperienced manager. You get that freedom. You get that opportunity to show what you can do. Tavernier gets himself back on the pitch, which is good to see because he has been man of the match contention in this opening 35 minutes. Tyler Adams there. Has he just been fouled by Kiefer Moore? He has, just on the edge of the box. I say on the edge, it's about 30 yards out, but in an opportunity to get the ball in. I think Leeds, what they're going to have to do is, and this is going to sound really stupid, but I think they need to play the ball along the floor more. You've got so many big players in this Bournemouth side and they keep looking to whip the ball into the box, and unless it's a delicious ball and unless there's brilliant movement from Rodrigo, particularly in open play, they're not going to win a header. Particularly like from free kicks like this, you've got Billing, you've got Solanke, you've got Meppen, you've got all these players, Kiefer Moore in there as well. You're never going to win a header. You're never going to win a header. Watch him prove me wrong right now as Jack Harrison whips in the ball. It goes in towards Christiansen and his header ends up it was Liam Cooper's header. It's just kind of cannoned upwards. João Cancelo has been sent off versus Fulham. Oh my God, that was an awful voice crack, but probably deserved. He's been sent off, has he? Oh God, that's not been good. And it's 1-1 in that game. Jeez. Let's see how the scores are getting on elsewhere then, just whilst we wait for play to resume here. So, wow, there's been a lot of goals so far. So, it's been an exciting lot of games at the moment. And that, oh, hang on, Dominic Solanke rolling his way through. Really good feet from Solanke. Is that a foul? Is that going to fall to Tavernier? Leeds players are furious that there was a foul in there, which I thought there was, which is why I went to have a look at my phone. But the referee waved advantage. Solanke didn't make the most of it. Solanke's appealing for a foul. Really, really confusing few moments there. The referee's on with his VAR assistant now. Kiefer Moore, I'm not sure there's much in that, to be honest with you. Solanke does really, really well to touch the ball down. Is there a foul in here? No, that's shoulder to shoulder. It's good defending, actually, from Christiansen. Really good defending. Elbow, maybe, but I don't think you can stop him from jumping like that, Matty. I think that's the problem. He's jumped up and he's not looking. He's looking at the ball. He's won the ball as well. But, it's unfortunate for whoever the Leeds United player is. But just to go back to the scores, whilst a few Leeds players received some treatment. I know Strauch's just sorting his socks out as well. So, of course, this game is 2-1 to Bournemouth, 38 minutes on the clock. Manchester City versus Fulham is 1-1, which could be a really interesting game. Kind of wish I'd covered that one now. Kind of wish I'd covered that one. Because that's going to be really interesting. I wonder if Haaland's on the bench at all. He is. Yes, he is. So the cheat code is on the bench. Willian, of course, starting for Fulham. Keep forgetting he plays for Fulham, you know. Keep forgetting he plays for Fulham. Need to watch Match of the Day a little bit more. Nottingham Forest 1-0 up thanks to Morgan Gibbs-White against Brentford. 40 minutes on the clock there. An assist for Emmanuel Dennis. Morgan Gibbs-White playing through the middle as a lone striker. And Wolves are 2-1 up now against Brighton. So we brought it to you earlier saying that Lallana and Goncalo Guedes, 2 goals really quickly in that game. But then a penalty by Ruben Neves, who's got himself a head. I need to stop voice typing whilst painting. You're voice typing? How do you voice type? I didn't know you could do that on here. Oh, I guess you can. I don't know. You clearly know stuff better than me. Clearly know stuff better than me, Matty. Painting the kitchen on a Saturday. Nice. Nice. VAR is fine with this decision at the moment. That, you know, there was no foul on Dominic Solanke, there was no foul from Kiefer Moore, so we are just waiting for the Leeds player, who it is, Robin Koch, who is getting himself back to his feet, and they're just making sure as well for any concussion or anything like that. God, I've enjoyed. I tell you what, I know I just said that. I think that City versus Fulham game is going to get feisty. This one has all we can think of that is into this game at the minute. That, you know, all we need now is a couple of bookings, and then we've got a real feisty game on our hands here. Kind of looks like a derby the way that this game's playing out as well. The way that it's playing out. Jesse Marsh won't be pleased though with the opening 40 minutes of play. There's definitely been signs of what Leeds have done well, but Bournemouth, like I say, they needed to calm down after that first 5 minutes, hectic first 5 minutes, and that goal really did calm them down. Dominic Solanke has really good feet. That sounds really bad out of context, but that's a great ball over the top to Rodrigo. Outside of the foot pass there, I think that was sucked from Tyler Adams there with a delightful pass to find Rodrigo. Here's Christiansen, who finds Jack Harrison. Harrison looks to cut in on his left foot, tried to drive one into the box, but guess who's there again? It's Jefferson Lerma, and Marcus Tavernier is going to ping a switched ball over the top. A diag over the top, looking for Philip Billing, and Pascal Strout deemed to have been fouled there as Billing came through. Leeds are desperate for an equaliser here. Jack Harrison. I tell you what, the ball is just turning over really quickly. Solanke again. Brilliant feet, Dominic Solanke. Got himself away there, Dominic Solanke, really well, and drove into the corner, and Tyler Adams had to use all of his pace, but Solanke looks brilliant on the ball today. He's full of smiles, and why not? He's playing fantastically. The young Englishman. I say the young Englishman, he's like 25 now, but it's great to see him sort of performing at this level today. Matty Taylor says, I couldn't get permission to go to 2 games over the weekend and go to the Moors with Josh today since he's in my neighbourhood. Hence, painting the kitchen, unlike Josh, I don't wear the pants. Nice. Oh my God, honestly, Dominic Solanke has been fantastic. His fast feet are unreal. For a big lad, I hate to use the phrase, for a big lad, but he's got great feet. Honestly. Out of context, my love for Dominic Solanke's feet today has been really weird. Really weird. Rocker. Into Robin Koch. Oh God, that's really got me. Cock. As if Cock itself wasn't a funny enough name. Lovely ball out wide there to Pascal Struijk. He's got movement from Somerville. Instead decides to use Brendan Aronson. Here is Tyler Adams now. They just need to try open up the play just a little bit. If they can look up and see Robin Koch, he's got quite a bit of room. That's a good ball from Aronson. He does find Robin Koch. He's going to be clipped over, looking for Christiansen. Christiansen's header, though, is intercepted by Marcus Tavernier. He's really putting the afterburners on there to try and put pressure on the Leeds United fullback. Solanke to Chelsea then. Nah, we won't have him back at Chelsea. He's already been at Chelsea. We already made a fortune off him like Liverpool did. I remember when Solanke signed for Liverpool, everyone was like, oh my God, we've just stolen your best youth player off us. And then he did nothing. And he like scored 1 goal in 35 appearances or something like that. And everyone was like, yeah, never mind. And then Liverpool somehow got 35 million for him. I don't know how they've managed that. They did it as well with Ryan Brewster. How Liverpool get like 35 million for some of these youth players who are, at the time, just not fulfilling their potential whatsoever. Solanke again, he's going to pick up the ball here. It's almost reminding me of Joe Linton today, Dominic Solanke. The way that he's playing, he looks like he's playing a little bit further back, which is taking the emphasis off him, and he feels like he's a bit more creative, and he's just getting the ball down and dribbling hard. And Ryan Frederick's going to carry the ball out here, looking for Philip Billing there, and Struijk's done really well to come across there. How long till Leeds fans turn? I will be intrigued. I will be intrigued to see how long it takes, because, you know, Marcelo Bielsa, of course, very much a beloved person at Leeds, was quite quickly disregarded. I say quite quickly, in terms of with the club. The actual fans didn't really turn their back, and I'm sure they still love him to this day. But Jesse Marsh, he doesn't have that affiliation with the club. He doesn't have that. Oh, good touch there from Kiefer Moore once again. Billing, oh my gosh, it's like watching Brazil. It's lovely ball from, just headed clear there. It is fantastic play from Bournemouth today. I tell you what, Lewis Cook and his team are doing absolutely fantastically well so far. Jefferson Lerma just bodied Somerville on the halfway line there, and that, I think, will be our first yellow card. Our first yellow card. Really good play again. I think it was Philip Billing with a lovely drag back there to roll it out wide as well. It was a good touchdown as well from Kiefer Moore. It looks sensational. It does look sensational when it's pulled off, I tell you what. They could swap him for Chucky Mish. Swap here. Chukwuemeka. Right, yeah. That, I mean, to be fair, maybe. But Dominic Solanke. Yeah, Jefferson Lerma's absolutely bodied Somerville there. He knew what he was doing, the midfielder. He's been everywhere. He's been great as well. We've got 4 minutes of added time at the end of this first half, for those wondering. Evening to John, or afternoon to John. I don't know what we say when it's about 3 o'clock. Are you going live on Sunday? I think I will be. Just want to check that, you know, I've got everything set up, and, you know, I've got plenty of time. But yeah, I definitely think I will be. And quality player, Kai Havertz, really rate him. Penalty to Brentford, says Matthew. Billing over Rice to Chelsea, mate. Really? Billing? Really? No. I'd definitely prefer Rice. Somerville is back onto his feet. And it's good to see. Good to see him back on his feet. My phone is going off with score updates. It must be because it's is it FA Cup weekend this weekend? I believe that's what I've heard. FA Cup weekend for this weekend. Right, I'm going to turn my phone on silent because that is already annoying me. Don't know why I have to send every single game notification at the same time. It's very annoying. Tavernier still looks in a little bit of pain as well. So Somerville and Tavernier both the left wingers or left midfielders for their sides, both looking like they're in a little bit of pain at the moment. Marcus Tavernier will sort of carry on until half time, one would assume, and sort of get himself over the line, if you will. It's going to be a really interesting second half though when this finally does come around. Headed clear. Is that going to be headed clear there by Dominic Solanke? Not quite. Here is Rocker. Is there one more opportunity? Leeds fans are wanting their players to move the ball a little bit quicker. It's a good ball looking out wide there for Pascal Strauch. Philip Billing comes back. Somerville, good feet to get himself away from Billing initially. Can he get himself away again? He does. Drops it into Brendan Aronson. Is he going to shape to shoot? He does. It's blocked though by Lewis Cook on the edge of the box. And that's come all the way out to Liam Cooper. And that will be half time. There we are. There we are. Just right away at half time. There we are. 2-1 to, oh my gosh, 2-1 to Bournemouth. What a first half that was. If anyone hasn't been watching this entire game, it has been jam-packed, full of fun. I tell you what, it has been, everything has happened. Everything has happened in this game. We've had a penalty, we've had 3 goals, 3 fantastic goals as well in that opening 20 minutes. It's been end to end. It even looks like an FA Cup game. It's an FA Cup weekend and Leeds and Bournemouth went, all right, let's bring our FA Cup attitude, and it really does look like an FA Cup game as of yet, and it should make for a brilliant second half, so don't go anywhere. What we will do is, guys, this is really irritating me. I'm turning off my notifications because I'm going to turn them off for the FA Cup because it's really irritating me. I don't care if, you know, these small teams have played, like South Shields versus Forest Green. Like, I don't need to know every single notification for them. Oh, thank God. Turn them all off. Turn them all off. There we are. That was annoying me. That was really annoying me. I would go through all the FA Cup results, but there's quite a lot that are going on at the moment, so it would be a waste of my time. That being said, it looks like Hertha Berlin and Bayern Munich are having a good game between the two of them. 3-2 in the first half there after Bayern Munich were 3-0 up. 3-2, crikey. It looks like a good game there over in Germany as well. You know, on 10 likes, so I've just smashed that like button. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, John. Rice, apart from Kane, is the only world-class player in the England squad. Just a shame. He's a Chelsea and Mount's his best friend. Lol. Not laughing at Wolves. What do you mean not laughing at Wolves? No red card for Wolves. What's been happening in Wolves? What's been happening at Wolves? What we'll do is we'll get Sofa scores up on the screen and we'll just have a look and we'll go over those half-time scores for us then, guys. So for scores, damn it. There we are. So for scores, here we go. Oh, there is a red card and it's 2-2. God, everything's kicking off. Everything kicking off. What a great set. I tell you what, I said earlier on, didn't I, that we maybe didn't have a good game of you know, fixtures, games, whatever you want to say today. But each game, at least 2 goals so far. And as you can see, 2 red cards as well. One of those coming for João Cancelo, and of course, one just come in that Wolves game as well. We'll check that one out. But as you can see, of course, the featured game for today, Leeds United versus Bournemouth, is 2-1 at the moment. Goals coming from Philip Billing, and the opener coming from Marcus Tavernier in terms of a Bournemouth perspective, and as well Rodrigo getting a penalty inside 2 minutes. Then you've got Manchester City versus Fulham, which is at 1-1. Goals coming from Julian Alvarez in that game, and João Cancelo being sent off for Manchester City. Let's see who the goal scorer was. If I can find my mouse, where the hell's that gone? Oh, it's on your screen, but it's not on my screen for some reason. That is very annoying. Right, I found it though. And the other goal has come from, not Bernd Leno, that's not going to give us away too many clues. It's Andreas Pereira. Professional foul last man, so that is where the goal came from as well, from the penalty. As you can see, it's Nottingham Forest 1, Brentford 1. Has Ivan Toney done anything for me in terms of fantasy football? It doesn't look like it. It was from the penalty spot, the equaliser, as Visser was fouled. And as you can see here, who's been sent off then? There's been a red card, but who for? Nelson Semedo, professional foul as well. So a lot going on in these games. A lot going on in these games. And like I say, it's very interesting that I said right at the beginning of this, being like, oh yeah, maybe we've got some boring 3 o'clock kickoffs today. Doesn't look that way, does it? It does not look that way at the moment. Let's go back to the live screen then, guys. This is back on the live screen, and I'm going to start turning on some lights in a little bit. We'll just do that before half time. I'm going a little bit orange because of the light brightness, though. I must say, let's go a bit colder with the colour, and hopefully that'll... Is that all right? I don't know. It's just not as bright now, is it? Just not as bright. Is that better? Oh, God, I don't know. Right, let's have a half-time game. If anyone's got anything to talk about, do get it in the chat. If you see any fake accounts trying to steal my name and my photo on YouTube, please report them and block them straight away. I'm the real John Hand. Well, the real John Hand, please stand up. Please stand up. Will the real John Hand, please stand up. That is the question, isn't it? Have I been sat on that remote? I don't think I have. Maybe I have. I think it was down... I was going to say I think it was down the crack, but that sounds very suspicious. I meant the crack of the sofa, because I'm sat in between two cushions at the moment. But Chelsea Tan. Did you mean to say Chelsea fan there, Matthew? Anyway, let's move on and let's have a bit of a half-time game. What have we got? What are the options? We've got ourselves Premier League, we've got World Stage, and we've got General Knowledge. We're watching the Prem, so let's do the Prem. Matty Taylor, I'm expecting you to be on fire today. Having played in the Premier League yourself, lad, I'm expecting you to be on fire. But let's have a bit of a shuffle. Orange glow. Ah, right. Nice. Okay. Cool. I'll get there in the end. I'll remember what I was talking about 3 minutes ago. Let's go then. So, Mish will like this one. I've just seen the answer to it. So Mish will like this one. I feel like I've just given that one away. Gareth Barry. Let me bring my mic a little bit closer. Starting a sentence off with Mish will like it. Gareth Barry holds the all-time record for the most passes played in the Premier League. But who comes in second place with... So, Gareth Barry has 20,616 passes, but who comes in second place with 19,187 passes? I will give you a few options in a little bit. Someone give us some guesses and just spam a few guesses, and we shall then discuss the answer. I do have 3 options to then give you if you can't give it a good guess. I do believe these are accurate as of something like 2020, so it should pretty much be there or thereabouts. It might have changed just slightly, but we'll go with this for the sake of it. Matty Taylor's gone with Milner, which is a good shout, and I'm sure he's definitely creeping up there as well at the moment the more he does play. Just watching the highlights here from last week's game where Rodrigo Bentancur, of course, got that late winner for Spurs. Højbjerg, try spell his name when you're drunk. And Milner, it isn't Milner, I can tell you that. It isn't Milner. Mish, John, anyone else who's in the chat, do be sure to get involved and let us know who you think it could be. I'll give you the 3 options that have fallen into there. Or fall into this in a moment if no one's got any more ideas or advancements on James Milner, who of course is, he's been a professional footballer in his career longer than he's ever been a non-professional footballer, which is mental. It is absolutely mental when you think about it that way. Obviously turned pro when he was 15, 16 and now heading long into his 30s and still a professional footballer and still playing at the top level as well. Of course, formerly of Leeds United as well, James Milner. But I will give you... No one's got any advancements on Milner. Josh is going to... Josh... Oh, God, I'm really struggling today, Matty. Josh is going to a game. Curse continues. Why? Which game is he off to? Which game is he off to? Or is he at? I know he's not had much luck in terms of results when he's been at the games. But the 3 options then which this has given us is Frank Lampard, Paul Scholes or Cesc Fabregas. So just to repeat the question, it is Gareth Barry holds the all-time record for the most passes played in the Premier League, which is 20,616. But who comes into second place with 19,187? And how many of them yourself have you actually counted? And the three options are Frank Lampard, Paul Scholes and Cesc Fabregas. Frank Lampard, Paul Scholes and Cesc Fabregas. Let me know. Let me know. Which one do you think it is out of them? Three players with fantastic careers, of course. Lampard, Gerrard, Scholes always in a debate. So two of the debate there. And of course Cesc Fabregas, a player whose shirt is hung up behind me. Is hung up behind me at the moment. As for some reason I'm watching the highlights of Leicester City's 2015-16 Premier League triumph. Oh, what a time to be alive that was. I'm sorry, but that was unbelievable. And Matty Taylor's gone with Fabregas. It is, I can confirm it is Fabregas who has got the second most amount of passes in the Premier League era. And that is some stat, considering as well he spent, what, 5-6 seasons? Yeah, something like that, wasn't it? 5-6 seasons out of the Premier League? Maybe. During his career. Obviously, he's had a few in Monaco. He's now, where is he now? I think he's at Monza now, says Fabregas. So yeah, definitely a little bit surprising, but you know, the man knows how to pass. The man knows how to pass. Next question, let's flip over the card and continuing in a very similar style. Underrated? Potentially, I saw something, and I'm sure you can discuss this with me, Matty. It was between, who was it between? Ozil, Mata, David Silva and Cesc Fabregas. And someone said, oh, David Silva outlasted them all. And I was like, I would not say David Silva was the best of those players at all. I'd say Fabregas was the best player by probably a long shot. Did it for both, well, all three of Arsenal, Chelsea and Barcelona. Bearing in mind he broke into the scene when he was 16, which he was, you know, captain in Arsenal at the age of like 18, stuff like that. For me, that's a no-brainer. He's ahead of them. David Silva and Ozil, it's a bit 50-50. I think David Silva is one of those players who people look back on and remember him better than what he was. Don't get me wrong, I think he was a good player, but I think he's one of those players who has had hindsight benefit him, whereas Mesut Ozil, because of the way that he finished his career at Arsenal, was a better player. Juan Mata was great for Chelsea. Like, he had a good couple of seasons at Chelsea, maybe a good first-ish season, decent season at Manchester United, but they played him off the right, and it's, you know, it screwed him over. So that would be my order: Fabregas, Ozil, David Silva, Juan Mata. Let us know if you feel the same way, though. Let us know. He's better than all of them. I don't think he gets the credit he deserves. I don't think he does. I really don't think he does. It's criminal as well that he didn't manage to get equal De Bruyne and Thierry Henry's record of most assists in the season. It really is. He was, well, same with Mesut Ozil, isn't it? Really is criminal. Glenn Whelan not in that poll. Unfortunately not. I think Glenn Whelan was, you know, too good for the rest of those players, really. I think you know, you can't put a greatest of all time player in there. That'd be silly. That'd be like putting Bentner in that selection, Matty. I don't think you can do that, mate. Don't think you can do that. Right, next up on the questions. So Mish says, will there be a red card in this game? Red cards seems to be aplenty. It does seem to be at the moment. I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised at the moment. Just highlighting Marcus Tavernier there. 1 goal, 1 assist. And of course 1 goal as well for Philip Billing. So a good start. Right, as of January 2020, which goalkeeper holds the all-time record for the most Premier League clean sheets? That is the next question for us then, guys. As of January 2020, which goalkeeper holds the all-time record for the most clean sheets? I was just making sure my mic was working correctly and everything sounded okay there. But let us know, who do you think it is? Who do you think it is? It's obviously got to be Ramsdale. David James, that's a decent shout. That is a decent shout. It is Premier League though, so maybe not. I'm trying to think. I don't know how many clean sheets David James will have had. Maybe a little bit too before my era. Of course, he was made the #1 goalkeeper in that 2010 World Cup after that absolute stinker from Rob Green. But at that point, he was 40 anyway. He definitely had better years before I was born. Ramsdale or Sanchez? Don't think it's Ramsdale or Sanchez in the whole Premier League history. I think you need to go a little bit closer to home again. That's all I'm saying for my clue as the teams come back out onto the pitch as well. We're just focusing on Philip Billing. Let's see if Marcus Tavernier's been able to get himself back out in this second half as well. He's been fantastic, hasn't he, Marcus Tavernier? And maybe will fancy himself as a late shot for the England squad. Who knows? And Matty Taylor has gone with Petr Cech, and that is absolutely correct. It is Petr Cech who has the most assists. Most assists. God, could you imagine if he did? That would be unbelievable. Most Premier League clean sheets, and it's 202 he's got. 202, of course, at Chelsea and at Arsenal as well. Edwin van der Sar was a good keeper as well. We are underway. There has been a substitution for Leeds United. I will confirm who has come off in a second. I would hazard a guess, not Eden Hazard, but I would think it might be Somerville, who was picked up a little bit of an injury. I'm not sure who has come on in his place, though. We'll have to wait and see until the graphic pops up on our screen for us. Well, there is Somerville, so that rules that one out. It's Harrison coming off for Gnonto. So there we are. Straight swap on that right-hand side. The young man coming in on that right-hand side for Leeds United. Looking like at the minute, maybe trying to play a bit more dynamically, maybe freshen the legs. Hazard plays for Bournemouth now? He might as well do. Got to be whipped in there. Cleared by Mepham as far as Kiefer Moore. Oh my gosh, Marcus Tavernier's given that ball away again there. And that's really well defended there by Senese, who's done really well to put that one behind. Leeds, again, starting bright at the beginning of the half. They did this. We've got a bit of deja vu with this one. Can they then get themselves back into this game and get themselves level? That is the question. Definitely in need of an equaliser. It's going to be whipped in towards that back post. Is that going to fall there for Rocker? It's really well done actually by Lewis Cook, who's able to clear one down the line and all the way to the halfway line where Tyler Adams for Leeds United can pick up the ball. Here is Christiansen, who finds Rocker. Rocker trying to open a bit of room for himself, and Philip Billing has only conceded a corner. You saw the grimace on my face there as Mark Rocker's ball sort of pinged off and went behind. He'll get more games. He'll get more game time. I mean, he can't get any less game time, can he really? I'm not sure he can. But it is a corner for Leeds United here. It's going to be whipped in towards that front post. Headed clear by Solanke. Driven into the crowd of people there by Rocker. And headed clear eventually by Philip Billing. It's going to look to be hooked clear by Jefferson Lerma. Here is Philip Billing once again as Bournemouth look to counter-attack themselves. Here's Marcus Tavernier going down this left-hand side. Tavernier's going to roll it across the box to Solanke! What a little cheeky finish that is from Dominic Solanke! What a goal! Dominic Solanke gets his bow and arrow out to celebrate, but what a goal! Dominic Solanke, a delicious little finish. What a finish that is. The ball's gone behind him and he's flicked it round. And into the bottom corner. What a goal, Dominic Solanke. Take a bow, my son. That is beautiful. Marcus Tavernier again involved, bursting down that left-hand side. No one comes to him, and it's flicked round the corner. Oh my gosh, what a finish that is. Leeds are falling apart again. They most certainly are. They most certainly are. And it's a brilliant, brilliant finish from Dominic Solanke. I've been saying all game, he looks like he's full of confidence, Dominic Solanke, the big striker. Looks absolutely full of confidence, and he's finally got his goal that he's deserved. His feet have looked so good. No context, Sam, you're going to absolutely love it. But he's been so good on the ball at the minute, and he's shown it there. A lovely little flick round the corner from Dominic Solanke, and he rolls it in that bottom corner. It's delightful. It's delicious. It's Dominic Solanke who makes it 3-1 to Bournemouth. Oh my gosh. Solanke on fire. Absolutely. Absolutely. Brilliant, brilliant footwork from Dominic Solanke. Brilliant. Matty saying, what a goal. Leeds are falling apart again. Solanke bow and arrow. Very appropriate celebration. Solanke is on fire. I tell you what, lads, it's bonfire night, and Bournemouth are setting off their fireworks nice and early with that finish. I tell you what a goal. What a goal that is from Dominic Solanke. He's flicked it around the corner, and it's just, you don't expect it from Solanke. You don't expect it from him. You know, don't get me wrong, he scored 29 goals last season. He definitely knows where the back of the net is, and he's found a lot of confidence in doing so. But he's giving me Joelinton vibes, lads. He's giving me Joelinton vibes. He's genuinely giving me Joelinton vibes. The way that he's playing. Bonfire night, but it's raining goals. Yeah, absolutely. It's raining in Elland Road, and it's not just the precipitation either. That's a good ball over the top, looking for Gunonto. God, I sounded like such a nerd then. Gunonto, is he fouled there? I think he's looked to play that one there. I think he's got away with one there. Marcus Tavernier coming back. What a game Marcus Tavernier has had. I need to finish this kitchen, otherwise my balls will be in the oven when she gets home, and I need them for Villa Park tomorrow. UTV, night missions, Sir Sam of Chelsea. No worries, Matty. No worries, lads. Enjoy the rest of this game because it looks fiery. It definitely looks fiery. Let's see if Mish can get his score prediction right, as Aronson looks to whip in this free kick, and he's put way too much on that there, the American international, and he looks annoyed at himself, and he should do, because that was pathetic. Definitely not happy. Leeds, that Elland Road just seems so quiet now. You can hear the murmurs. This is the problem though, like, you know, the fans lose their appetite to sing, but this is when really the players need them to sing. They need them to drown out. The louder that they can be now, Leeds, the more likely they are to get back into this game, because at the minute it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Bournemouth, barring that wobble right at the beginning, that was a bit dangerous. That was very dangerous, that arm coming in there from Chris Mepham as he jumped into the air and just caught the Leeds United player. Really just caught him as he jumped into the air there. But like I mentioned, these fans have a role to play now, and don't get me wrong, the Bournemouth fans are being loud, but Leeds need to be louder and louder and louder, and they need to. There is a definite need. Because, well, their team's not being good enough. Their team is not being good enough. Strauch looks forward there for Somerville. Is there a foul in there on Somerville? It looked a little bit clumsy the way the tackle came in, but Solanke's managed to pick up the ball. He's got himself into a little bit of trouble there as Gunonto gets the ball away, and Marcus Tavernier hoosts the ball up the line. Kiefer Moore again using that height and that physical presence. And Leeds nearly on the back foot once again, but have to go all the way back to their keeper to try and retain possession. Headed forward there. Kiefer Moore running the show up front. I tell you what, his physical presence and the way that he moves around on the football pitch is second to none. He looks absolutely fantastic up front, Kiefer Moore. There's going to be some substitutions coming for Leeds as well as they look to get themselves a goal. I don't think there's too much of a foul in there on Somerville. There's an initial tackle from Ryan Fredericks, which eventually ends up cannoning Somerville into his centre half there, as Roca is coming off for Sam Greenwood. who is going to come on. So a striker coming on for a defensive midfielder shows that Jesse Marsh is not happy, and he shouldn't be, not happy with the way that this game is turning out at the moment for Leeds United. Sorry, I'm just turning some more lights on. Might be a cost of living crisis, but I need to try and do something. The ball goes down the right hand side there for Leeds United as Christiansen looks to whip that one in, and that is easily caught there by Mark Travers, who's not really had too much to do in the grand scheme of things, has he? Not really. What is the late kickoff this evening? Do we have a late kickoff this evening? I'm not sure. We do. We have Everton versus Leicester this evening. That'll be an interesting one. Two sides, maybe not in the greatest of form. Looking to build on their seasons and a couple of decent results as a Solanke and then another Bournemouth player is both found on the edge of the box. So what do Leeds need to do right now? I mean, it's easier said than done to say, you know, stop this Bournemouth momentum, but how do they stop it is the question. It's how do they stop it? Look, I think the Leeds fans have a big part to play here. Get behind them in terms of something that's out of their control, but they need to try and G up their fans, and that's a good ball from Aronson going down that right hand side looking for Rodrigo, and it's intercepted. It's going to fall to Gnonto, who's going to whip that one in looking for Somerville. Mark Travers, you're going to be able to keep that one on just about. No, referee says it's already gone out of play. There's urgency now, and Rodrigo getting frustrated at the Bournemouth keeper there for keeping the ball in his hands longer than needed. Leeds are absolutely desperate, and Bournemouth just need to sit back and sort of chill out. And Rodrigo's getting really rattled up at the minute. He's getting really rattled up, and I'm not sure what someone said there, but he's getting really sort of irate for no particular reason, and he's a player that Leeds need to try and keep calm because he's a match winner right there. He's a match winner. He's already scored for Leeds so far today, and he needs to keep himself calm. Mish saying that Company is not going to be happy at Burnley. 5-2 to Sheffield United. Wow, that is a hefty score for Burnley. Hefty score for Burnley to have conceded. That corner whipped in towards the back post looking for Robin Koch, and that goes into the hands though of Mark Travers. He was stretched very much, Robin Koch, as he tried to header that one back across goal, but couldn't quite get it. Couldn't quite get the connection on it. If you haven't already, guys, and you are enjoying, do be sure to smash that like button for us. Do hit subscribe as well if you are new to the Sam Redgate-Large channel. I think what Leeds need to do is very much go back to basics here, because Bournemouth are pressing through this press. They're able to move the ball quick enough to get themselves through this press pretty much most of the time. That being said, they've just played the ball out of play for a throw-in. But that might be where that Leeds will be able to then sort of reignite that sort of flame, if you will, is by slowing the play down a little bit, sort of re-finding their identity and then moving forward. Because it all seems to be 100 mile an hour right now. It's all 100 mile an hour, and they just need to calm it down. You look at Rodrigo there getting irate. How many times does he do that? He doesn't do that very often. I do think we've got another twist in the tail, though, here at Elland Road. And it does remain as we come towards 60 minutes. It's Leeds United 1. Bournemouth 3. Goals coming from the opener goal came from Rodrigo, and it was a dream start for Leeds United, who won a penalty inside 50 seconds, and Rodrigo of course stepped up, calmly dispatched that, and Elland Road absolutely erupted. After the first 5 minutes though, Leeds found it really difficult to break down Bournemouth, and goals coming from Marcus Tavernier, who scored the initial one, who then set up Philip Billing and then set up Dominic Solanke it's been a really, really good game for Marcus Tavernier, who's just having a word in his ear as well from the referee there. There's been 19 fouls in this game so far, which will tell you how feisty it is, really. Really is feisty, this game. 30 minutes left. Do let us know if you are in the chat as well, and do get involved. I'm very intrigued to see there's a Leeds United fan who I follow on YouTube, and I will shout out his name in a second once I've remembered it, because I'm sure he is live. He's got 1.4 thousand people watching him now. Just Joe Football Show. Unreal, that. 1.4k. No wonder no one's in our stream, because you've got 1.4k people there live. Wow, that is unreal. But I wonder what the Leeds United reaction is like over there. I really do wonder what it's like. But there might be an opportunity here. It's going to fall to Strauch. It's hit Mepham. Is that going to come for Rodrigo? It wasn't Rodrigo. It was Christiansen. Oh my gosh, I saw a left footer swing one at it, and Christiansen makes it 3-2. Mish is in the money right now. I tell you what, Mish, did you put some money on it being a 3-2? Because Christiansen's just bent in a delightful finish. Wow, what a goal that is. What a goal that is. It's whipped in off that left foot. Wow, it was the first shot was blocked. It comes back out again. Oh my gosh, what a finish that is. What a goal that is. Wait, is it Greenwood? It is Greenwood. Why do we focus on Christiansen then for the whole thing? We focused on Sorry, it was Sam Greenwood. Sam Greenwood has just got an absolute banger. His first goal in the Premier League this season. I do apologise to Sam Greenwood. I'm sure he's a big fan of the Sam Redgate-Large channel. But we just zoomed in for no reason whatsoever on the Leeds United right back. But it is Sam Greenwood in the 60th minute getting himself another goal. The cameras got confused. They didn't want to expose Greenwood. I mean, with a name like that, you don't want to be on the screen very often, do you? Marcus Tavernier trying to burst forward there. But what a goal that is from Sam Greenwood. Unbelievable. I'm not sure why they focused on Christiansen so much there. But I do apologise. I do apologise. Not a lot I could do, though, because they focused on the wrong player. And his celebrations as Greenwood tried to foul Marcus Tavernier, who's still full of running going into the 60th minute, and Christiansen does give away the foul there. Yeah, it's an unfortunate surname, isn't it, Mish? Unfortunate surname. That is Ellen Road in full voice now that you can hear. Tavernier sends one in. Somerville just about gets it away. Tavernier wins it back, though. There is so much noise going around Ellen Road, and I told you they had a thing to play. They had a thing to play. What was I saying? A point to play? No, they had a role to play in this game as Somerville looks to burst forward. This might be an opportunity. Rodrigo bursting down on the goal. Cuts in on his right foot. Oh, Rodrigo. Oh, Rodrigo. I think it takes a deflection. But it's so electric, this game. So unbelievably electric as he cuts in. I think it's a good block, actually. Let's have another watch, because if it's not a good block, it's a poor miss from Rodrigo. It's Smith who comes across. No, it's a poor miss from Rodrigo on his right foot, on his weaker right foot. Blazes it high, wide, and not at all handsome. But less about me and more about the game. You on the housework, Matt? Yeah, I think he went. I think Matt went because he was He was getting too distracted by Leeds United and Bournemouth, which I can't blame him because it has been simply scintillating the game so far. Simply fantastic. Can't believe how dark it is already. It's 4:30, man. It's 4:30 and I've got all the lights on. 4:30, got all the lights on. Good stuff. Good stuff. Oh, I just need to take a breath. I tell you what, this game is electric. Nearly as electric as Naby Sarr. Here's Pascal Strauch. Down the line to Brendan Aronson. Here is Strauch once again. Cooper finds Robin Koch. Down the line there to Christiansen, who finds Sam Greenwood, the goal scorer. The latest goal scorer, I should say. Not updated. The score again. I keep doing that. Why am I doing that? I keep remembering to update the names at the bottom. There we are. Grimsby 5-1 to Plymouth Argyle. Argyle doing a Burnley at the top of League One. I live in Plymouth, mate. I mean, Grimsby's my hometown, so, well, I guess we win that one. We'll see tomorrow, won't we, Mish? We'll see tomorrow with the double up. That probably means Chelsea won't do very well against Arsenal, but oh well. There's definitely a chance now, isn't there? The commentators being like, Greenwood's, you know, giving them half a chance. I think there's more than half a chance there. It was a beautiful finish from Greenwood. A lot of Leeds players appealing, don't shoot, pass, pass, pass. That's just what you needed. That is just what you needed from Greenwood. It's beautiful. It is simply sensational, that finish. And the maturity as well, not to go ballistic and, you know, he does celebrate the goal, don't get me wrong, as he should. But he gets himself right back in position. And he's like, right, we go again, boys. We go again. And that's the more important thing at this stage. Ryan Fredericks there was just down, having picked up a little bit of a knock. Bournemouth will be hoping, though, to have not blown two-goal leads in the space just over a week, really. And we'll be hoping not to do that if they can help it. I think, to be honest, I think we're staying at a 3-2. I can't see there being another goal. That being said, anything can happen. Have they released it with Sam Greenwood yet? Yeah, it was his goal. Yeah, they just showed the complete wrong player for some reason, and I don't know why you'd do that in the celebrations. I think whoever the cameraman was just got slightly distracted. Must have been. Maybe he's had a couple of pints or something like that. Maybe that's it. Greenwood. Koch. Here's Robin Koch. Cooper finds Pascal Strauch. Somerville, is he going to square up with his man? He's going to drive at Ryan Fredericks now. Drops it off to Aronson, who's again looking for a clever ball over the top. And it's just not quite fallen this time. Here is Sam Greenwood, who's full of confidence there as he looked to shape to shoot once again. He was looking for Daniel Sturridge v Chelsea, if that's a reference to anyone who can remember. He's drinking on the job in his flask. Yeah, it looks like it with the way that cameraman did that. I tell you what, it definitely looked like he was drinking on the job. It's going to be a corner, though, for Leeds United. Just over 20 minutes left to play here at Elland Road. It's going to be whipped in by Sam Greenwood, and it's in towards that back post, and it's in! Oh, my gosh, it's in! Liam Cooper, the captain! Just when they needed him! Just when they needed him! Liam Cooper, the captain, has made it 3-3! 3-3! Unbelievable! Unbelievable stuff! Wow, 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 wow! Liam Cooper makes it 3-3, our sixth goal scorer in this game. Unbelievable stuff. I'm not sure on the defending from Bournemouth. Mark Travers will be very annoyed he's not saved that one. It's a good ball in. Good jump. Ooh. Mark Travers. Question marks around the goal, keeping them from the young man. Definite question marks, because that should not be going in. That should not be going in. But Cooper does not care. Does not care one bit, and he will happily gobble up the goals. And Leeds full of confidence now, with Somerville twisting and turning and weaving. Lewis Cook gets back though and does his job. Let's have a look at the goals elsewhere whilst we wait for play to resume. Oh my gosh, cannot believe it, cannot believe it. Every other game, though, is still in the same position it was earlier. Haaland has come on, and so has Phil Foden as well in that game. It's still 1-1, though, between them and Fulham. Nottingham Forest and Brentford is still 1-1. Wolves versus Brighton is still 2-2. This game is absolutely firing on all cylinders here at 3-3. Absolutely firing on all cylinders. And Bournemouth are going to be disappointed if for the second week in a row, as I mentioned earlier, they drop points from a 2-goal advantage. And I think that's maybe where they need to work on it just a little bit at the moment, because they've gone ahead. Don't get me wrong, credit to Leeds. Credit to Leeds. But they do need to try and sort themselves out just a little bit here, Bournemouth. Otherwise, they're going to end up dropping 3 points in twice in 2 weeks, which will definitely not be something that they will want to do. Big ball switched out wide there towards Christiansen, and that's going to go out of play for a Leeds United corner ball. It's going to be a restless final 20 minutes here. It's going to be a breathless final 20 minutes here, and the Leeds fans are going to be right behind their team for the whole time. It's going to be whipped in again there by Greenwood, headed clear though, this time by Bournemouth. It goes out towards Aronson, who looks to clip that one back in, headed by Philip Billing. Somerville. Nonto whips it in off the head of Rodrigo there, and that will go out of play for a goal kick, I believe. Come on, Fulham, says Mish and Solanke. Grimsby Town versus Plymouth Argyle in the FA Cup game, apparently. So FA Cup, so Grimsby through. Yeah, it is FA Cup this weekend for the lower league sides. So Grimsby definitely through if they're 5-1 up or whatever the scoreline. He said it was. Smith there tries to pull that one back, and Sensei does really well there. Senese does really well. If I can say his name correctly, that would be very helpful. Mark Travers going to clear that one up. I think Travers will be annoyed at that one going in. He's not really had too much to do today, but the goals that have gone in, penalty couldn't do much about. That's a quality tackle, I tell you what, from Lewis Cook. Yeah, he couldn't do much about the penalty. It's 50-50 really, isn't it, of the goal going in. I think a penalty's XG is, what is it, 0.76 or something like that. So, you know, it's basically you save 1 in 4 is the average, or it's missed 1 in 4. So he won't be annoyed at that one. I'm trying to think who scored the second one. Sam Greenwood couldn't do anything about that one. That was a worldie. And then that one, that is where you need your keepers to stand big and stand strong. And he's just, I think he's let himself down there, Travers. I think he's let himself down there. Whatever this is going to be a huge result for either team. It's going to be a huge result for either team. Ryan Fredericks is coming off. I'm not sure who is coming on, because unfortunately I don't know every Bournemouth player by name at this current moment in time. I'm sure by the end of the season it is Stacey who's coming on. Apparently Stacey's mum has got it going on as well, as the throw-in goes towards Dominic Solanke there. Here is Tyler Adams, who flicks it into Rodrigo. Rodrigo's touch wasn't good enough though, and Chris Mepham's going to try and unleash Marcus Tavernier, who is for me so far the man of the match of this game. Jefferson Lerma, who was good in the first half but been quiet in this second half. Good, oh my god, brilliant dummy. Here is Stacey, the substitute. Oh no, just wide. It was a brilliant dummy from Philip Billing. Stacey runs onto it. And I tell you what, I was going to sing Stacey's got it going on, because that was so close. So close. He should have just lashed at it, I think. He tries to drag it. He tries to drag it. He tries to drag it and he's pulled it wide. He's pulled it wide. Match of the day going to have a hard time prioritising the games tonight. Definitely. There might be another opportunity. Not quite there. Here's Lewis Cook. He's going to whip one in. He's going to stand one up towards the back post. The Leeds defenders didn't talk to each other there, though. Fortunately, Christiansen managed to move out of the way. Nonto. Sam Greenwood clips the ball forward there, looking for Rodrigo. Keeps it on just about, but they've been dispossessed this time. Marcus Tavernier whipping one in, looking for Kiefer Moore. It's absolutely electric in Elland Road at the moment. It is 100 mile an hour in Elland Road. Manchester City have apparently scored. Let's see. What was the... Was it an offside goal? It was an offside goal. It was Erling Haaland whose goal is pending. It would be brilliant if that goes in because it's a Haaland goal by with a De Bruyne assist, which would be a dream for me fantasy football wise. It would be an absolute dream for me if that one would go in. It would do me some favours, and it's been ruled out for offside. Oh, that's disappointing. God, this is electric. Billing into Cook. Lovely play again. Stacey on that right-hand side making an instant impact. It's whipped in. Goes all the way over to Marcus Tavernier. Christiansen held himself out this time. So not let Tavernier free at that back post. Tavernier trying to wiggle his way through two Leeds United defenders. And I'm not sure what the referee gave there. Or whether if it was obstruction. I only care about the reality of Arsenal's title hopes, mate. Fair enough, Mish. Fair enough. Oh, Brentford have just scored, so they're ahead of Nottingham Forest as well. To be fair, I think there was a foul in there for Marcus Tavernier, but the referee, I think he's given it as handball because Tavernier picked the ball up. A little bit harsh. And Viss has just scored for Brentford, in case if you are wondering. Being as totally as biased as the FIA and Red Bull. What do you mean they're not biased? Right? Yeah, I'm not sure on that one. They definitely are. 15 minutes left. God, this game, it seems like it's lasting so long. Strauch drifts into some space. Drops it into Greenwood once again. Cooper. Somerville drops in deep so he can drop the ball then down the line to Strauch, but the ball looking for Strauch was really poor, I must say, and Chris Mepham able to come across and sweep that one. It is a Leeds throw in though that finds Somerville. Good feet from the young man out on the left hand side. Brendan Aronson drops it back to Liam Cooper. Cooper finds Robin Koch. Christiansen. They're just trying to take their time here as Christiansen, as Greenwood looks to cross that one in. Strauch, Somerville, Tyler Adams. What a ball that is! Oh my God, Aronson! I just got tongue-tied. I genuinely thought that was going in. I went Aronson, and it was blocked brilliantly. I think it was Jefferson Lerma once again coming across and doing his defensive duties. Been everywhere in this game. It was great touch, great feet. It's Senese, the man who gave away the penalty in the first minute. You chose a good game, mate. I definitely did. I definitely did. 14 corners in this game, 11 fall into Leeds United, 13 minutes left on the clock. The thing is as well, this game, in terms of stat-wise, I imagine will look like a real hammering of Bournemouth. But unfortunately, that's not been the way that the world has worked so far, and that has not been the way that the game has gone. It's been very even. Very even, I must say. Let's have a look at the stats whilst we wait for play to resume. Total shots. Expected goals, 1.44 for Leeds, 1.56 for Bournemouth, so both scoring more goals than they should be. Total shots for Leeds United so far, 12-9 to Bournemouth, and Leeds with 63% possession to Bournemouth's 37%. So 6 shots on target though for Bournemouth. Impeccable finishing, impeccable finishing. Both sides really have their shooting boots on today. It's a shame some of the defending hasn't been as good as some of the attacking or some of the finishing, because then we would have a real good game on our hand. That's a lovely switch there from Christiansen as Somerville tries to get the ball down. He's just about kept it on, and Jack Stacey does really well there to come over and put that one out of play. Jesse Marshall definitely be pleased with his team's reaction in this second half, particularly when that third goal went in for Bournemouth. They looked down and out at that point, but they dug in, they dug their heels in, and they've dug in deep, and you know, in a matter of 10 minutes got themselves back into this game. Absolutely. And now they're hunting down a goal which could get them a vital 3 points and propel them up to 12th in the league. Corner for Leeds. Good play down that right hand side from Christiansen, who managed to win himself a corner, or his team a corner anyway. Greenwood. A familiar sight of Greenwood taking in a corner as he's been subbed on. It's going to be whipped in, this time deep towards Liam Cooper. Is there going to be someone under there from a Leeds perspective? And the shot is blocked there. It fell for Robin Koch, but it was blocked by Kiefer Moore, who stood marking the big centre half. Pressure absolutely still on for Bournemouth. I'm getting nervous for them, and I tell you what, I do not care how this game goes in the slightest, but I'm getting nervous for Bournemouth here. They've put in such a good performance over particularly the first 45 minutes for a good 50-minute period in this game, and now Leeds might be able to get themselves out of a spot of bother here. The corner ends up coming all the way back to Tyler Adams. Here's Nonto driving into the space, drops it down to Sam Greenwood, who tries to wiggle a bit of room there, and it's a good block eventually by Bournemouth, and that'll be a Leeds United corner deep inside the Bournemouth half. Well, who do you need to come on now? Joe Gelhardt. He knows where the back of the net is. We've seen him score goals in the Premier League. The young man will be coming on for Leeds United. Let's see who he comes on for. That will be interesting. I think it's Rodrigo, you know. I think it's Rodrigo. So I think Leeds have gone, right, we've got enough attackers on here. It's an improvement in terms of fresh legs. Get fresh legs on the pitch. Rodrigo, of course, coming off, which is a bit of a shame for him. But they do have the points, so they don't want to weaken their team too much at this stage. So a like-for-like swap does make sense. The throw-in from Strout there finds Somerville, and Jack Stacey comes over and clears the ball out of play for another throw-in for Leeds United. 81 minutes on the clock. If you are just joining us, it is Leeds United 3, AFC Bournemouth 3. The opening goal came from Rodrigo, the man who's just been subbed off. Leeds trying to get the ball in the box here. Somerville, is he going to be able to do anything with it? Drops it back to Strauch across the box as Christiansen arrived late, and that'll go into the hands of Mark Travers, who'll take his time. Yeah, so Leeds open the scoring thanks to a penalty inside 50 seconds, but Bournemouth responded well with 2 goals from Billing and Tavernier. Tavernier getting the assist for the second as well, with getting the assist for the third as well, with an incredible performance in that first and beginning of the second half from Tavernier. But Leeds have grown into this game, and on 60 minutes Sam Greenwood scored a vital goal, what looks like a vital goal and could be a vital goal in their season as well. Kiefer Moore, good touch there, gets the ball down, and Tyler Adams has definitely fouled him there. And Tyler Adams there being very, very annoyed at the decision of the referee and the fourth official to give that one as a foul. It was a good touch, good turn. Yeah, I definitely think that's a foul for me. He's turned, he's come through in, don't get me wrong, Tyler Adams. His reaction isn't the greatest, is not the greatest from the American. This second half has definitely been all Leeds, and it's been, you know, what Leeds will have wanted going in 2-1 at half time. despite going a third goal or a second goal behind. There might be an opportunity now to counter-attack, led by Nonto. He's got Somerville up with him. Can he find him? He rolls it through to Somerville. Could this be it? It is for Leeds! It is for Leeds! Somerville scores in a dramatic style, and it's Leeds 4, Bournemouth 3. What a comeback from Leeds United! What a comeback! What a game! And Leeds are 4-3 up. What a counter-attack. Nonto does brilliantly. Weighted the ball perfectly. Travers should make himself bigger in that goal. What a goal from Leeds United. What a goal. That is unbelievable counter-attacking football. And to be honest, in this second half, nothing short of what Leeds United deserve. Nothing short of it. It was effortless. It was unbelievable. And Somerville is the hero it might well turn out to be in this game. It was a fantastic run. It's a simple finish for him, but he has a lot to do. Running at full speed, manages to clip the ball up into the air. And surely Leeds United, we've seen it all now. Surely we've seen it all now. Surely Bournemouth can't fight back once again. But we are looking at one of the great games in the Premier League this season. Two teams willing to fight, willing to work hard. And Somerville, wow, wow, wow. Oh my gosh, Leeds players definitely playing for the manager. Bournemouth need to learn to defend. Somerville warming up for the World Cup. Absolutely, absolutely. And going back, Miss says, you chose a good game, mate. Boy, did I choose a good game. It might be a quiet one in the stream, but it's definitely not a quiet one in the game this evening. And that has carried, this game has carried me through this live stream. Absolutely carried me. There's not been a moment where you've thought, oh, this is going to get a bit dull. But now Leeds have 5 huge minutes. Can they hold on? Can they hold on? They've been behind in this game before. And we saw how quickly that turned around on itself. Leeds are going to start making a few tactical substitutions here then. We've got Brendan Aronson, who's had a decent game, coming off for Luke Ayling. So that is a defender coming on for an attacking player. That'll show you the intent of Leeds United in these final 5 or so minutes, plus stoppage time. It's been fun whilst having nothing to do until later. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It has been a really good game, this. What a game this has been. Leeds United 4, Bournemouth 3. I cannot imagine what it feels like to be a Leeds United fan, having watched that. Being in that stadium now, I imagine it's rocking. The roller coaster of I say I imagine, I can see it's rocking. The emotion of the roller coaster of emotion this whole game has been unbelievable. From that opening goal where the crowd went wild to potentially the late winner. But is there still time? Jack Stacey goes up this right hand side, and that has gone out of play. Has that gone out of play for a throw in or a corner for Leeds United? I don't know, but it's absolutely rocking here at Ellen Road. It's been a roller coaster of emotions, and that is easy to say. It is. Oh, it's been a roller coaster for me. I tell you what, it's been a roller coaster for me, and we could still, with 3 minutes left, and Bournemouth sending on the backup brigade, Junior Stanislas. I can recognise him from a mile away. Looks like he's going to be coming on as well. It's going to be thrown into the box there from the throw-in, and Nonto's going to try and run this one out. He's going to use that pace of his as he's come on as a sub, the extra fresh legs that he does have, having only played 40 minutes on his at the moment, just like he did for that goal, trying to drive the ball forward. Let's see then what the substitutions are for Bournemouth. Nonto doing his job there really, really well. Here comes, I believe that is Stanislas. It most certainly is. And Rothwell is coming on as well for Senete. So, couple of changes. Billing coming off for Stanislas, couple of changes up front, a last throw of the dice for Bournemouth. Can they get themselves a late equaliser? Surely the footballing gods aren't going to reward us with another goal. Surely they're not going to. Strout to launch one up the field, looking for Joe Gelhardt. Good feet there from Rothwell, who's just come on. Jack Stacey finds Kiefer Moore, looking for a back heel. Good ball there. Is he able to get onto that one there? Rothwell, no. There was 3 Leeds United players in the vicinity, and Sam Greenwood picks the ball up, and his Joe Gelhardt just wasn't quite expecting that through ball there. Was not quite expecting it whatsoever. Bournemouth need to move the ball forward here. Marcus Tavernier, for me, even though it's going to be Leeds United who are going to lose, I still think I'm going to have to give it to Marcus Tavernier. Leeds United who are going to lose. Leeds United who are going to win. Still think I'm going to have to give it to Marcus Tavernier for that first half performance. He was fantastic. Maybe a little bit quiet in the second half, but still managed to get himself an assist. But Bournemouth have really been under the cosh, and it's been difficult. I do think Somerville has had a good game. I know we scored the late winner, and it's easy to say that the late winner is the man of the match, but he's had a good game. He's looked positive. Even when Leeds look down and potentially look down and out at times, he's looked positive and he's moved the ball fast. How many more minutes have we got of this? I don't know what the commentator just said there. It sounds like we've got quite a chunk of extra time coming our way here as Tyler Adams. Is he fouled there by Jack Stacey? Most certainly is. Tavernier's been good for Bournemouth. He definitely has. Definitely has. Somerville, I think, has been really good. There's been a couple. Billing and Solanke have been good as well for Bournemouth. Let's see how much extra time we have. I've not seen it yet. There's 5 minutes of added time. 5 minutes of added time at the end of this game. You got there in the end, Mish. You got there in the end, lad. Is there still chance for a late winner for Bournemouth, or a late equaliser, should I say, for Bournemouth? Nonto there, fouls. Oh my gosh. Kiefer Moore, great touch again. He's had a good game as well, Kiefer Moore. Holding play up at the front for Bournemouth. Throw in for Bournemouth. Leeds looking to stand firm here and hold on to this win. It would be a huge win for Leeds United from 3-1 down to be 4-3 up. Tavernier tries to get the ball down. Kiefer Moore gets in his way though. It's cleared though as far as Lewis Cook. Here is Jack Stacey once again. It's going to be lofted in that time. Dominic Solanke was underneath it and Meslier able to catch that one. Leeds and Bournemouth need to take defensive lessons from Fulham versus Man City. Yeah, and Fulham versus Man City, they need to take attacking lessons from these two because they've been at each other's throats from minute 1. And I literally mean minute 1. It's been a sensational game. Absolutely sensational. I cannot believe it's 4-3. I cannot believe it. I thought, you know, when we were at 3-2, I thought, Mish, you called it perfectly. Thought you called it perfectly. But how football can change and how unpredictable football is. I said that earlier on. There's Jefferson Lerma. Has he given away a throw in there? He has. He's given away a throw in deep inside the Bournemouth half. Unbelievable football at Elland Road. At Elland Road. Oh my gosh. I just need to take a minute and sit. Penalty to City. Ooh, late penalty as well. Interestingly, Leeds have only had 4 shots on target. Only had 4 shots on target. For the 17 shots and chances that they've created, they've only had 4 shots on target. Clinical when they've hit the target. but they need to be hitting the target more from 17. I know it looks like at the minute it won't have affected them, but this game could have been long gone if they hit the target more frequently. The ball knocked forward again towards Kiefer Moore. Tyler Adams wins it back though. Kiefer Moore's going to try snap him. Here's Nonto. He's going to do his thing again and try run forward. Somerville nearly getting himself into a little bit of trouble there. Here is Nonto. He's running the ball into the corner. Of course he is. Christiansen back into Nonto. They're going to try and hold the ball in the Bournemouth half as long as possible. Nonto's been great since he's come on at running into those channels. Here's Somerville, who is right on the edge of the box here into Joe Gelhardt. Joe Gelhardt's going to take a shot, and he maybe shouldn't have done that. He maybe shouldn't have done that. If the ball ends up finding its way into the back of the Bournemouth net now, there are going to be questions about Joe Gelhardt. Manchester City have just scored. Oh, that's a late one. 90+5. Who scored that one, Mish? There's been a goal, but who for, Mish? I know it's for City, but I'm assuming it was Haaland. It was. It most certainly was. Of course it is. The man can't stay off the score sheet. Could have had 2 in this game as well. Joe Gelhardt just got himself a yellow card as well. Not sure what that was for. I was looking at the City score at that point. Bournemouth trying to get the ball out. It's a Bournemouth goal kick. That'll be what they need to get the ball up. Mark Travers is going to take this one quickly. He won't be hesitating there. He'll just look for Kiefer Moore and he'll give it a big hoof. He has given it a big hoof, but it's nowhere near Kiefer Moore or Dominic Solanke. Jefferson Lerma wins the second ball. Here's Marcus Tavernier. Is there one last opportunity? We're in the last chance saloon here, really, for Bournemouth. The ball looking to knock forward again. 2 Leeds players in there. We've got 20 seconds of regular time left. Bournemouth have 10 seconds left. They're going to knock the ball forward. Kiefer Moore, and that's into the hands of Meslier. And that will be that, I think. Jesse Marsh, in the most dramatic style, the Americans team is going to have won it here. It's going to be so dramatic. And the Leeds fans are going to make such a roar when it does happen. And it's all over. They think it all over. It is now. It most certainly is all over now. Leeds United 4. Bournemouth 3. What a game. What a game. That is one of the games of the season. It will be one of the highest scoring games of the season, but also one of the closest games we have seen this season. It ebbed and flowed. It had so much to it, this game. It had penalties, it had yellow cards, it just had everything, didn't it? It just had everything. And look, Leeds United have done well. Bournemouth are going to be gutted. There must be something that they can do. There must be something that they need to be able to do. 2 weeks in a row being 2 goals ahead and conceding 3 without a response for Bournemouth isn't good enough. Is not good enough. But they definitely gave it a good go this week. Marcus Tavernier, my man of the match tonight, has been fantastic. Closely followed by, of course, the late goal scorer in Somerville. That was a fantastic goal from him as well. There's been some really, really good individual performances from each player and each team tonight. They've all been completely at their best in terms of attacking. Defensively, a lot of question marks for Jesse Marsh and for Bournemouth as well, and I'm sure there'll be a lot to take of it. Of course, Jesse Marsh will be the happier of the 2 managers going home with 4 shots on target and 4 goals. But what a start to that game. Of course, Somerville started the scoring with getting that penalty. Rodrigo buried that one, tucked it into that bottom keeper's right hand side of the goal. Then the goal came from, who was it? It was Marcus Tavernier, of course, the man of the match. It was Marcus Tavernier at that back post who caught one on the volley in 7 minutes. We then took a little bit of time. I said a little bit of time to score. It was only 13 minutes in between these 2 goals as Tavernier rolled it back to Billing, who did his best Yaya Toure impression. And that was it for the first half. And we thought, maybe it's going to be a bit quieter in the second half. How wrong could we be? Bournemouth continued the second half as they started it with a great ball across the box from Marcus Tavernier and a delightful finish from Dominic Solanke. A fantastic goal. There's been a couple of worldies in this game and that was one of them. And another worldie then came on the 60th minute from Sam Greenwood. Bent it into that far post. A delicious goal from him. And then the captain, just when you needed him, from a Sam Greenwood corner, rose like a salmon at the back post to header it in. Liam Cooper made it 3-3. Question marks around Mark Travers' goalkeeping, but it was 3-3. And then Somerville, great work from Nonzo. Somerville charges through and he scores. But that was pretty much, if you missed the game, that was it in less than a minute. I'm going to leave you guys there because my voice is going. I've had a fantastic game. Thank you to those who've been in the chat and got involved, and obviously thank you to everyone who's watched. If you have enjoyed, do be sure to smash that like button as well and do hit subscribe. That'd be absolutely fantastic for us. So I will see you potentially tomorrow for Chelsea versus Arsenal, bright and early, 11:45 in the morning. Keep your eyes peeled, ladies and gents. Keep your eyes peeled. Thank you very much, and as always, guys, do stay safe. Cheers. Have a great bonfire night as well.